Hi guys, I'm here. Did I make it? Yes. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late, but I was in the process. I'm going to go over this later, but I was in the process of giving Tahoe her ex-pharmacist or kung fu name, I call it, because when I was in kung fu, we had all of our when it was time, we got our name, our kung fu name. So Patricia, room 23. Nurses, Mark, you and these things make me think so hard. Anyway, Patricia has been our beautiful butterfly for at least a good year or so, and I'm so glad to see that she made it here. So I'm so grateful that she made it through the surgery yesterday and everything is well. Is that correct? Now, what is room 23? I can't tell these little tiny icons, and I'm afraid to click anything because I'm afraid that I'll lose the stream. Room 23. Can you give me another hint? Can I get a letter? Let's see. Room 23. Fine art coffee table book showing the life of a private penthouse suite in Beverly Hills, photographed by Deborah Anderson and hosted by Diana Jenkins. The book was published. So is that what we're talking about, featuring celebrities? Is this one where they, A Year in the Life of Beverly Penthouse Suite featuring celebrities? Room 23, multidisciplinary design studio. All right, so tell me, am I even close? Am I even close, mystifying Mark? Great. Okay, wonderful. So anyway, I'm still working on her name. I know. Let's name our beautiful Tahoe before she gets here. I'll let the group. Eminem and HP both left at 36. Ah, okay. Okay, this must be a music thing. I don't know what that means, but Shelly, hi Shelly. Shelly's on X, by the way, and I've been able to communicate. Oh, hi Bill and Kathy. Is that correct? Bill and Kathy? Boy, you guys are here. I'm so glad. So, all right, what we're going to do right now is I need one more word, and the group is throw it out there for us. We all know that Tahoe has had a lot of challenges. Good. Hi, Kath. She's had a lot of challenges. And back in when I did Kung Fu and taught Kung Fu, we had our Kung Fu names when a certain point, we reached a certain level. And mine is kind of funny how I got my Kung Fu name. I had to remember it. Mine was Iron Butterfly. Okay. And you have to remember back then I was a bit of a hippie, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how I got this name because I was in the studio one time practicing my jumps. And the big Master Poi Chan was there from China. And he has a place in Orlando now, but I know, Iron Butterfly, it's perfect for me, isn't it? Oh, I hate this hair. I got to go to a hairdresser, which I've never done. But so anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm practicing these useless jumps over and over and over again. And I can't get 6 inches off the ground. And I see Master Chan over there and he's shaking his head and he spoke real broken English and stuff. And all of a sudden, he points at me and he goes, "You Iron Butterfly." And that's how I got my name. So we've got to pick one for Patricia. It's got to have a word before warrior. Oh, thank you, Shelly. So she's our what warrior? Let's pick her name real quick before she comes on. If she comes on, I hope she's doing okay. So anybody come out? I'm thinking, I don't want to, I want it to be empowering. And I thought of endless, but that seems like it's never going to stop. Recovering warrior. Let's see, I'm going to do my usual here. And I'm going to go, give me 20 prefixes for a group name, 20 uplifting. For a group name, for a name that ends in warrior for someone who has battled many challenges and will soon emerge victorious. That's a good way to put it, huh? All right, so we'll go to that. Let's see what you guys, if anybody, nope, nobody came up with anything. I've got a mute group here today. No, I don't. You've all said hi. Nobody can think of anything, huh? Well, that's why this works sometimes good. We got the resilient warrior, the triumphant warrior, the unbroken warrior, the victorious warrior. I don't even know what that word is. Indomitable. The ascendant warrior. Oh, that's the ascending warrior. That's kind of nice. Sovereign warrior, radiant warrior, unshakable warrior, vanguard warrior, ever rising warrior, illuminated warrior. That's not bad either. Impervious warrior, phoenix warrior. There was someone, oh, you know, I think I called her a phoenix at one point. I don't know. How do we incorporate that? Unconquered warrior, glorious warrior, steadfast warrior, boundless warrior, crown-bearing warrior, or valiant warrior. So if any of those kind of hit you, let me know. I would like to use the phoenix in there, but I also like ascending warrior. So let me know if anything sounds good to you. Ex-drug push. Mark, you're so bad. Tenacious warrior. That is nice too, isn't it? You look beautiful. Your heart is shining. Iron butterfly, perfect for you. Rising phoenix warrior. There you go. Our rising phoenix warrior. Everybody like that? Hi, Donald. How are you? We just named Tahoe. We gave her her kung fu name. She is tenacious, but I wanted something that shows she's transforming and all of her work wasn't for naught. So I am, and because of the phoenix, I think I like rising phoenix warrior. Everybody in agreement? And when she comes on, we're going to say, me too, Shelly. Okay, so when she comes on, if she comes on today, let's hope she does. If she comes on, we're going to say, hello, rising phoenix warrior. Okay, and then I'll explain to her what that's about. Okay, good. So we got that. Anybody have anything special they want to talk about? Because the first thing I had on the agenda today was Hayden Panettiere, whoever she is. Anybody know her? She's here. Where's she at? I didn't see her. No, she's not here, is she? No, she's not here. No. Am I wrong? Are you here, Tahoe? She's here with us in spirit. I have no idea. A lobster claw RPW. I've got to learn these secrets. So I'm a ex-drug pusher, and I got something going on in room 36, or no, 23. I don't understand these codes. Speak Pig Latin or something, and I'd have a better chance of understanding it. No, actually, when I was a kid, we had something called gibberish that we would speak to. That MM and HP both left at 36. I'm sure they're people. Anybody want to guess at these? Because I am like, I have all my stuff going in one direction, and now my brain is scattered. So MM and HP. H is, oh, that's Hayden. Okay, that's Hayden. Both left at 36. I see. Yes. Okay. Now that's different from the what? 27 club? Who's MM? Michael? No. Anybody know who MM is? HP has got to be this Hayden girl. Maybe Hayden faked her death. Let me tell you what I think is going on with her from my research on that. I didn't. Oh, there she is. Okay. There she is. Tahoe is here. I didn't see that, Tahoe. So now you know that you have gotten your Kung Fu ex-pharmacist name, and you are the rising phoenix warrior. Okay, you're the second one to get a kung fu name from the ex-pharmacist. So that's for my little fighter. You doing okay, sweetheart? I hope so. I hope you are. I know your appointment is Wednesday. So everybody right now, just 1 second. This appointment is going to go very positive. It's very removable. And the doctors think that there's no problem getting it all. Okay, Tahoe. Think of that, sweetie. Just keep good thoughts, good thoughts, because I think of you every single day. All right. Yes, I know you had to relocate from Arizona. I know, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing because that isn't who you are. Your location isn't who you are. Hi, Susan. Your location isn't who you are. It has nothing to do with you. Who you are is in here, and they can never take that away. Remember that always. All right, so let's talk about this girl, Hayden Panettiere. I do have a link that I want you to see. And oh, I don't need to log in. I'm just going to show you right here for it. Hold on, give me a second. And then it's going to give you a little clue to what I think happened. And I got to get this up here, though. Hold on. It opened the wrong thing. Let me get it up here. Bear with me. Technical difficulties, but it's all good. Tim and I had a little bit of a trying weekend, but I didn't get to go out on the water, and I hoped that I was going to. We tried. We packed everything up. We got there after being in the shop for 2 months, and the thing they didn't connect the Tim knows what it is, the cable that makes the thing move. That it would go into gear. The transmission was fine, but they didn't connect the cable. So we got out into the intercoastal waterway. We learned that we couldn't get out of idle, and we turned right around after 3 hours of preparation to go on the stupid boat. But that's the way it is. The reckoning. Oh, Phoenix, Tempe, Phoenix Rising. Oh, wow, that's right. Yes, okay, I got it. But that's not why. The whole Arizona thing had nothing to do with why you are the Phoenix. You are the Phoenix because you are rising up. And that's why you are. Ah, Letitia. Hi, Letitia. Good to see you. All right. So let me show you this picture we got from Hayden. Okay. And you tell me what you think about this. I've actually seen this in person sitting in a restaurant in downtown St. Pete. All right. This is the tattoo. And if you look, you can actually see it in other things on Hayden's neck. That's the all-seeing eye. And I have seen this many times before with people. So I'm sure you guys know what that means. Now, let me give you a little background about Hayden. I'm going to take this. Well, I'm going to leave that for a second. Let you digest this, okay? Hayden started in Hollywood at 4 years old. 4 years old on a soap opera. I forget which one it is at this point. But her mother was also in the biz, and she was an actress on this soap opera. So that tells us that this girl was brought up into this. She didn't become this seeing eye slave. She didn't become that as an adult. She was raised in it as a child. I know it's always watching me, Mark. It's always watching me. You know what I say to them? I have a salute for them, but I won't do it. So anyway, so she was raised in this. And I personally think the whole drug, it is true. Now, it is true, and we've seen it many times. Is this thing doing okay on my head? Yeah. Okay. I've seen it many times where these celebrities sign the deal as an adult, and they regret it. Or they're brought into it as a child. And the child ones seem to suffer the worst, don't they? Britney Spears went in as a child. Amanda Bynes went into as a child. Who's the other one? Their weight is all over the place. I'm sure you know who I mean. But now this girl went into Hollywood as a, oh, and look at how many child Hollywood stars we've heard about that have had horrible, horrible stories of abuse. This girl's been through a lot, guys. You can bank on it. From childhood, she's been through a lot. Did she take drugs? A lot of them do, to deal with what they've seen and what they've shared. They're in such great pain and they know it's wrong. So my thoughts are on this is that she was breaking her program. There were talks about her exposing something over the last, maybe you guys remember it, but she was bad mouthing Hollywood, and she was exposing Hollywood over the past few weeks. And then all of a sudden, poof, she's gone. Like so many others. Michael Jackson, think all of them. So I think there's an excellent, excellent chance that she was taken out because she broke her programming. And perhaps they've tried, you never know what goes on in the background, but perhaps they have tried, they tried to reprogram her, and for whatever reason, she was chosen to be, dispensable, and they could do away with her. Now, could she have disappeared also? That's a possibility. That's a distinct possibility, but I haven't found that she has the connections to do so yet. And you can't go rescuing and unaliving every single person who's in her position and who has suffered the trauma that she's suffered. So what do I think? I think there's an excellent chance they took her out. They certainly could have dosed her with opioids. But here's another thing that I'm watching too, which I always look at. The narrative is too strong, guys. As soon as this went down, it started bombarding the internet with her drug habit and her drug issues. And then they found the drugs. So from day one, people were saying that this girl did an overdose. And, yeah, you'd like to think there's a leak or something, but why is it always the bulk media, the legacy media? She said she had a problem, and I'm sure she did. Postpartum depression, domestic violence, yeah. No, that isn't a crystal ball. I'm assuming you're that. What they are is they're little glass. They are glass balls, maybe crystal. I don't know. But they're when the hurricane came, we had to tear down our staircase, and I replaced it with these railings. And I bought for the newels, the posts on the end of it. I bought 2 crystal balls. They were like $10 a piece, $20 a piece. So I bought them, and I thought, yeah, that would be really cool. So I guess yes. And her brother died too in 2023. So sad, isn't it? She's been through a lot. So it's sad. Sadly, right now, I think she is gone. But it's what do we do with all of them? And that's something that as compassionate beings, we're going to have to think, what do we do with these people that were born into it, that do all the stuff because they were taught that that's how you live? They worship Satan, perhaps. They maybe eat human bodies. They abuse babies. Most of them have had to do some kind of ritual by her age, and maybe her ritual just occurred. Who knows? So I want you to think about that, because it's something that I'm sure the Alliance has already done. But when you see people like Brittany or this girl or whoever that we know is clearly controlled, by the fact that they ink themselves with it or they sing songs about Satan or whatever, then what do we do with these souls? Do we give them a chance? Because they're breaking their program. They're trying so hard to break free, many of them. That was the same thing we saw if you watched that Mother Teresa video that I did. Her diary showed she was begging to be released. She was begging to be released. So think about that, guys. How does an empathic society treat those that were the most innocent when they were taken? And I hope you stay till the end, because I have one of the most beautiful things that I have found that I want to share with you. But it's a closing thought, so that's why we're not there yet. She had just done, you're creative with those glass balls. They are really cool. I wanted to do the house in white and turquoise. I'm a big person on white decor because here's the thing. You can change your decor cheap. Again, remember, I'm real cheap. So you can change your decor real cheap. Make everything white and put pillows or paint something, the color scheme that you want. But keep the core things, the floors, the walls, whatever, pretty white, you know? And I'm just a big, I've done that for decades. The end is in 3.5 hours. The end of what, Mark? What would we be without Mark constantly playing with my brain, stimulating it? It's a good thing. I don't mind it. I love it. Yeah, your colors are in your house too. Yeah, I just, so get different color pillows, put a slip cover on the sofa, paint the walls, do whatever. But the core things that are going to be expensive to replace, the sofa, the chairs, the, stuff like that, I usually keep white and then I can change anything. All right, so that's this girl. Let's get rid of her. Goodbye. We're so sorry of what you went through. We really are. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Except I don't know what the end is in 3 hours. The end of the world, 3.5 hours. August 18th. 8/18. Okay, I get it. All right, there's something going around 8/18. And it's through Anons. I saw it. 8/18. Well, I'm just give you a couple. Dearborn City Hall. There's something going down there with bikers, big time bikers showing up in Dearborn. They're sick of this. I haven't seen it yet, and I don't want to, because I wasn't prepared for that, but I should have been prepared for that because I knew the activation code for, tier 4B has been received. Yeah, 847 million accounts have been unlocked. I still don't know what a dinar is. I mean, I know what it is, but it's stuff that I just don't write. This one, there's a codified message, level B4 holders. I haven't really gotten with all of that just because I don't have any message coming to me about this. And even though Dane's gone, I have almost always gotten my original inspiration intuitively, and then I would go run it by Dan. So there's something going on. 8/18. It's a big deal. Other than this Dearborn, Michigan, where they're kicking or trying anyway. We'll see, but that's more theater there. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Hello, sweet. There's my sweet husband. The throttle. That's what it was. The throttle cable. But I don't want to complain because we have it so much better. Every species. Hi, Tony. Every species. Let's see. I remember seeing crystal knobs on really old stairs when I was young. I have crystal knobs all over the place, Donald. I bought on Amazon. I bought little small package of like 20 or 30 of them, and I replaced not my kitchen, but all my bathroom cabinets and my cabinets in my studio and stuff like that. All got replaced with crystal. I'm big on bling. I like bling a lot. Not too much where it's tacky, but a little bling. Love that video by Anonymous. Don't know which one that was. Do we have a Q post for 8/18? That's a good one. Let's see, you guys. Let's see, we'll know. August. I thought I looked. No, let me see. I thought I looked and there wasn't any in August, which was the weird thing. This came from a prior post somewhere, or from the numerology, July. There was a post on August 1st. Oh, no, not August 1st. August 19th. All right. August 17th. Here we go. Placeholder. Indictments tracking. Non-civ, which I'm assuming is either probably non-civilian. So these are, and we're seeing them. First one, Kevin Kleinsmith. Set 1, Kevin Kleinsmith, and there's more placeholders. So that could absolutely be something. That was yesterday. Tomorrow, ask yourself a very simple question. Here, let me show you these guys. You might as well look. Share and share alike. All right, August 19th, ask yourself a very simple question. Why is everything regarding Q being censored, banned, and attacked? When do you expend ammunition or resources? That's a good one. It's not being, my feeling is it's not being censored so much anymore. How many of these do we have? All right, we moved into 20. All right, also on August 19th, we have Epstein Island. Who owns the surrounding islands? Close proximity. They're talking about Water Island, which the CIA owns. We've talked about this before. The Biden's brother bought land there. The CIA just, if you want to know who the surrounding islands are, look at Water Island. Unique set skills of Maxwell, which Tim didn't believe. Yes, she has a submarine pilot's license, which she got for some philanthropic oceans project that she did. Oh, there, see there, submarine pilot. Tim got that? And that's because there is a submarine launch on Water Island, and there's also one on Epstein Island. So what happened was after he got busted is when she got this. Remember, she got busted the first time? People were flying in to St. Thomas, I guess, and then being shuttled over to his private island. Well, now she's also a helicopter pilot. I didn't know that one. What benefit might that serve? Well, we know shifting people from one island over to Epstein's island. So right after he got busted, shortly after, she opens this philanthropic charity for the waters. And there's even videos of her showing off her submarine and stuff. Biden lobbyist in the Virgin Islands, James Biden. Remember, I just said here, that's probably, I don't know what document that is, but James Biden owned land there and he sold it to some other people. Panic in DC coming. Fifth column, Q. Watch the DNC last night. All right, so that's enough. So we went through, so yes, and that is consistent. Oh, let's go here. That is consistent with what we're seeing. Richard Branson, yeah, he was a perv, wasn't he? And you know, the thing is, this was a long time ago before I started developing any kind of a sensory type enhancements. I idolized that guy, not idolized him, but I thought, what a wonderful life. He's just a devil may care free spirit that jumps out of airplanes, that does all this wild stuff, that never wastes a moment of breath in this life. Well, then I found out about this, and I kind of already knew it. By the time he was exposed, I kind of knew it. Biden owned island. He didn't own the whole island. He owned 1 square mile, I believe it was. And she had a submarine license. Yep, to transfer the people. Wasn't that interesting submarine to get away? No, it was not. The submarine didn't come until after he got busted the first time, and it became the transport from people going into his island instead of out of St. Thomas because he was so hot. Yep, Depp also had an island near there. And you know, Depp, I think Depp has got to be dirty too. You know, you can start to see it, guys, just by looking at the trajectory of their success. They get a little bit, and you know, they get a bit part, their first part. And it's promoted. The movie is promoted because there's usually somebody else bigger in there that takes them under their wing, kind of, so to speak. And then at some point, they get bigger and bigger deals. And then there's the deal where they have to prove their loyalty. Depp was a meteor. He went to the top quick. So I think he has to be part of the whole Hollywood. I got to be careful what I say, but the whole, you know what I'm saying, the club. He's part of the club. Let's put it that way. Actually, Donald, that was not those crystals. If that's what you're talking about, collecting things, I bought them. They were $10-20. They're nothing special, but okay. So, but I thought they looked cool. Biker's video. Yeah, there is a biker's video on that. Of them going. You want to see it real quick? I'll show it to you guys. Hold on. I love bikers too. I used to be one. My ex-husband was one, and I don't like to drive them, but we had a really, really cool couple Harleys. And it was fun, but he was reckless, wrecked it a couple times. Luckily, we made it out alive. Tim says, no way. And I respect that. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so this is the big thing that's happening that I can see today. That's quite an exciting thing, guys. I've been to a number of rallies. In fact, I was in the rally over the Sarasota Sunshine Skyway to eliminate the helmet laws. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's and I have to say that it's a shame because you just want to get out there on the road and you want to go free, and it's kind of like the seatbelts. I think it should be an option, guys. I'm not saying anybody should be forced not to wear one, obviously, but I want to get back to Tony's comment there. But anyway, I think we should have choices. We should have choices for a seatbelt. And Tim hates this. My daughter hates it. They're all indoctrinated. But I think what happens if in Florida, we have nothing but causeways, bridges, and all kinds of stuff. Every bit of our state is a coast, at least where I've always been. What happens if somehow I get run off the road or my car gets off the road and I'm stuck trying to get out underwater? So I think about that, and it's my choice. All right. Anyway, every species, Tony made a comment here. Every species has an egg producer and sperm producer. Is that true, Tony? Do you, because aren't there animals that have live births without an egg? Yeah, there's lots of them. Oh, but there's an egg that started. Yeah, that's science. Okay, I get it. Okay. Yep, that's a true thing. Do we have, all right. Oh, there's Pico. Pico's tearing somebody up. Pico, be a good boy. Wasn't that interesting somewhat? Okay, Biden owned the island, yes. All right, so Brett Branson, yep, dirty pervert. Anonymous, I don't have that. Give me a link and I'll play it, Patricia. I have a Harley motorcycle, leather jacket, like the one David Copperfield wore. He was an Epstein pervert too. Don't be proud of that, Mark. I saw him though, I have to tell you, and he was amazing. And the motorcycle vanished. I have so many leathers, and now I would never buy leather. I don't sit on leather. I would never buy a new car with leather. I just don't do that. It's just my choice. But I have all of these chaps and all of these patches and everything from when we rode. It was a fun time. And, I go through these things and and I rarely do them, but once in a while you'll see somebody say, how many of these things have you done? And they've got a list of, say, 50 things. And I've done like 49 of them. How can I ever complain, Yeah, he did have a cute face, Tahoe. Why would he need to do that? You see what I'm saying? Again, the reason he had to have done that was to get past, not good on computer, but it was great. Sorry. Okay, I see. And if it had music, I can't play it. But in fact, that one I think I can play because it's a loop. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to take it out. I don't know. Anyway, Copperfield was another one. He sure skyrocketed to the top, didn't he, guys? Just skyrocketed to the top. So why would such a handsome guy have to do such horrible things with that pervert Epstein? Because that has nothing to do with getting women. It has to do with pleasing the control mechanism. To actually more than pleasing, and it is a pleasing to them, but it's about showing your allegiance to the control mechanism. All right, so let's see what we got here now. Next topic up. This is just what I'm going to throw in there quick for all of you to think about. No matter where you are, 80% of our healthcare costs are going to treat preventable chronic diseases. That came out from HHS. Now, if you haven't been under a rock, you know that there was a recent declassification of documents, right? Yep, Tony, I believe so too. I know, I liked watching them too. It was a first date with my ex-husband, actually, was to see David Copperfield, the guy that was the biker. Okay, so if you know, there's a big trove of documents that came out, and I'm trying to go through all of them. I'm just going to give you a thing. Eric Swalwell is so done. He's so over. There's documents, and I'll put all of these documents, the links to the ones I speak about anyway, I'll put them in the description because there's still more that I have to go through. And the problem is, I hate the way they did this because you have to download it to your computer to see it. And my computer is so jammed up with videos, I'm almost out of memory. So, but I'll put the links and we'll see. So anyway, Swalwell, everybody heard about Fang Fang. He was doing Fang Fang, right? Well, it goes worse than Fang Fang. First of all, you'll see in the documents, if you choose to look, Fang Fang, her name was, it's going to be designated as R.T. I know, it is wonderful, Patricia. 80% of chronic diseases can be just eliminated. So RT is what Fang Fang will be in the documents, and that is an FBI code name for Christine Fang, and it means rusty thumbs. I don't know why. Anything about rusty thumbs. I don't know how the task force came up with that, but usually it has something to do with the people. So it will be interesting to see how we connect rusty thumbs to what Fang Fang did. Anyway, what came out new in this, not only did he sleep with her many, many times, and she was a Chinese spy, she bribed him and he took bribes. She embedded Chinese spies in his staff, and he got paid to do it. Can you believe this? It's just unbelievable. So that's one of them. He's going down. George Carlin. I know. Hi, Helen. There she is. There's our girl. I'll answer your email. I haven't gotten to it. I saw it. I just haven't got to it. I'm so behind. And I know somebody else has one coming to me that I haven't gone into the thing and gotten their address yet. So anyway, you'll also see on the Fang Fang docs that UCE will be named a number of times. And the UCE is an undercover employee. So what was happening is we had confidential human sources in there. And this is where we got this information that she was paying Swalwell to embed spies into his office. Can you freaking believe that? Your cousin married into George Carlin. He was a cool guy. I wouldn't wonder where he would stand these days. Okay, then another one. I won't go to him yet. I'll go up. Biden. The FBI had at least 14 confidential human sources that were embedded and in the from December 2019 through 2020 in something called Round River, which was a secret FBI counterintelligence operation, which is part of the Bureau's Foreign Influence Task Force. And it dealt with Russia. So it began unofficially around December 2019 and ran all the way through 2020, 1 year right before Biden took over. And we have lots. Also, it's a big club and we're not in it. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Brennan is so SOL also. Former CIA Director Brennan not only ordered his CIA to fabricate evidence to frame Trump under Obama, but when he was stationed in Saudi Arabia, he signed the visas, or whether I'm not going to say he signed them because I haven't been able to pin that down yet. But when he was in Saudi Arabia, he is the one that made the visas for the terrorists happen, the hijackers on 9/11. He's the one that gave them their visas or authorized them. There's very reliable public links, and you'll have them in there as well. He was the CIA station chief in Saudi Arabia at the time from 1996 to 1999. And that time overlaps with the period when many of these 9/11 hijackers were brought into the country. There is a whistleblower, a CIA whistleblower named John Kirikow, and he stated publicly that Brennan was responsible for the approval of these visas, and that he was linked to several uninvestigated, questionable incidents. So we've got a bunch of them, guys. We've got, I should have shown you this one. I found a meme. I didn't save it, but I found a meme that had somebody on it, military general maybe, and it says, "What don't you understand about we have it all?" And that's it. We have CC Ryder. I'm so glad I'm not in the club, and I'm so glad that my amazing man Timmy never made it to Hollywood, as much as he might not be happy about me saying that, but he really wanted to go to LA and become a drummer in a band, in a heavy metal band, and that was his major dream, and he would have given anything to go there. And he actually, before we met, he was talking to a woman. It just so happened in California, and then he got to Florida instead when we fell in love. So I'm so glad, because knowing Tim, when I met him, he's a little tainted, but when I met him, he was the most trusting soul you could ever imagine. He still is very trusting. He'd watch a commercial on TV and believe every word. He'd see a post online, believe every word, and want to go out and buy it. So he's exactly what they love in Hollywood, I'll tell you. All right, let's see what else I got for you. There's also claims that he ordered the fabrication of evidence to frame Trump. Brennan did, the CIA director. Can you believe this? Our CIA director is fabricating a candidate. It was just absolutely. Does Tim have a brother? Actually, he has two. One full brother who's married, which I don't think he'd want to become involved with, because there's something very, very special about Tim that few men I've ever found, and an innocence and an inner beauty that I have found inner beauty before, but he is very childlike. I remember Devo, yes, with those hats. I know, I think I did too, Donald, I really do. Okay, so anyway, Brennan ordered the fabrication of evidence against Trump, aka Operation Crossfire Hurricane, aka the Steele dossier that was paid for by the Democrats. If you don't know about it, boy, we got to get you caught up. Jim Jordan referred Brennan to the DOJ for false statements also that he made in a 2023 testimony regarding the CIA's involvement in the Steele dossier. We know that he's already been indicted for that, but they're just things I wrote down that were validation. So this Kirikow has had a lot of interviews. He even wrote a book. That's going to be kind of cool. Where do you guys see the graphic I have too that I'm going to put a link to for you to start deciphering, I hope, and we'll all contribute to it maybe either Friday or Tuesdays and see what we can find. Maybe that'll be a homework assignment. Here was something that I checked, which I thought, okay, I'm looking at how these. Let me think how I can say this. All of these remarks about these people being here and all the illegals that have to be here, and specifically the Muslims that are coming here. And now they make no, it'd be kind of impossible for many of them to say that they were coming here to escape or for a better life, because they're some of the wealthiest countries in the world. Not all of them, but the caste systems that they have, some of the wealthiest people. Anyway, so I wanted to find out, why are these people coming here? Can they possibly say they don't have enough habitable land? And no, it's not true. They have 25 to 32 million kilometers square of vacant, inhabitable land. There's no shortage whatsoever. They have 25 to 32. We have 4.6 million of that vacant land. So they have more than 3 times. They have 5 to 6 times the amount of land mass. There's no shortage of physical or vacant land in these Muslim countries. The local high density, there's pockets of high density just like there is here, and there's limited arable water resources in some places, but the countries as a whole have abundant empty territory. They're trying to take over the world. There's simply no other explanation for it. And AOC's getting her little butt in a problem too. She's now been accused of campaign finance fraud, citing $19,000 spent on a ketamine specialist, psychiatrist labeled as, listen to this, we're giving shrinks that give out ketamine, which is an abusive drug, under leadership training and consulting, plus nearly $50,000 that she spent on Puerto Rican hotels. This is campaign money. Hotels, catering, and what she called venue rental near a Bad Bunny concert that she went up on stage, and that was how she justified this money using out of her campaign financing. FEC filings confirm $18,725 to this Brian Boyle doctor, with additional amounts later. And there have been complaints filed. The Puerto Rican expenditures were disclosed as campaign travel and event cost because she went on stage with Bad Bunny. All right, let's see. Yeah, I did. All right, so the next thing, you're going to hear a lot from the deep state about this World Liberty Trust Company. Have any of you guys heard of that one? I see it as the Golden Age foundation. Remember, we always knew that we'd have to destroy the current structure, and we knew that we would have to rebuild the control structure again. There's always going to be a sort of control structure, hopefully. But the problem is, it's not that there's a structure. We got to run the world, okay? The problem is, like anything, the person behind a gun, it has nothing to do with the gun. It has to do with the person that's in charge. So I hope there's lots of safeguards and all. But anyway, Trump is establishing this World Liberty Trust Company. And the left is going wild about it, because now they're saying he's creating a reserve bank that he owns and his family owns, and that he's going to be stealing all of our money. Well, the fact of the matter is, he does own 1/3 of it, and then there's other investors. Maybe I'll get down to this, but it was the purpose that I was most concerned about. And he doesn't own it personally. It's through a corporation that was built for his digital currency. So, you know, the USD1, U.S. government equals a bunch of old hacks. It sure does. Trump's currency is the USD1 stable coin, and it is backed. Unfortunately, part of the banking currently is the US dollar, which is not backed. So backing with an asset that has no backing is a problem, but it's set up, the organization of it is set up so that if the US dollar should change to a gold-backed currency, the stable coin is right there for it. And you know, there's been a lot of problems with Bitcoins and this digital currency. The theft has been huge. Crime is covered by it. It's the #1 way to hide crimes, the money from crimes these days. And that we're having sovereign accounts that are created to reimburse the victims of these Bitcoin scams and or digital currency scams. And And also a separate one to hopefully reimburse the people. They're putting assets of everything they've seized by all these crooks into a separate sovereign account, or actually an account. And it's being done with digital currency. So anyway, the World Liberty Trust Company is specifically structured to hold and manage the reserves that it owns for the USD1 stablecoin. So what's happening is they're backing it, and it may be cash in there that they're holding. It could be gold. It could be oil. It could be lots of things. Whatever this stablecoin is backed by. This is one of its currently core planned functions, is to hold the backing for the stablecoin, issuing and redeeming. So this is where you can get your USD1 coins and know that they're right, and maintaining the dollar assets that support it on a one-to-one basis. So they're controlling a digital currency. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Throw in whatever you can. I did see something about it, but it was late. I'll tell you what, guys, crosses all banking rules. Tell us what it does, then, please. I'll tell you what, guys, there is so much going on. The bond market is about to fall, includes municipal bonds, property taxes. Well, here's the thing, guys. I see so many of these things in passing, and I am not a financial expert by any chance. Ask my husband, okay? All I know is to sack it away. So that's all I know. And invest in real estate and solid stuff, real estate and metals. But so I know nothing about these commodities, absolutely nothing, and about the market or anything. So tell us what's going to happen with this ISO 222. Anybody that knows, on August 24th, in just a few days. All right. So anyway, the USD, that's where this bank is, what you're going to get there. So I went into it and I did some research. So it says that for every USD1, which is the Trump tokens, in circulation, the issuer, meaning his bank, is required to, or not his bank, but this trust, is required to hold an equivalent amount of high-quality liquid dollar-dominated reserves at this point, typically cash, deposits at insured banks, short-term U.S. Treasury securities, related repurchase agreements, or qualifying government money market funds. Holders can redeem these USDs at the trust, which is what enforces the peg to the dollar. Digital gold is something different, and it will not hold it. Yeah, but we will get through it. Here's the thing, Patricia, on that. You have to remember how the Federal Reserve works. It's my understanding that their only collateral on any debt with the U.S. are these municipal, I don't know if they're municipal, but they're bonds, okay? And they're U.S. bonds, I guess. And Bondgate 2026. I got to write that down and look that up. Did I forget my pen? Nope. Bondgate, huh? I didn't look up the flock cameras, guys. I'm sorry. I just saw that note. Okay. So anyway, that is the only backing that they have on any of this national debt of ours. Now, not all of the national debt goes, remember that clock? Let me show it to you. It keeps getting bigger. I'll put it up while we're talking about this real quick. The national debt clock. And we'll check and see if we have anything in the secret window also. National debt clock. Okay, I'm going to switch it. Get this. All right, so here's the national debt clock. Remember this? This money here is not all money that is owed to the Federal Reserve, okay? Some of it is to China. Part of that debt is to many things. Some of them are to our own agencies like Social Security, where we borrowed money from it, okay? Not me, but all right. So anyway, there is a large portion. I looked it up at one point, and I want to say about a third of that maybe. I don't want to mislead you. How much of the national debt? How much of the national debt is to the Federal Reserve. Let's just see, since we got those numbers up there. Okay. Oh, it's okay. It's a bit. The Fed share is of publicly held debt. Well, let me give you a number: 4.5 to 4.7 trillion dollars. Right now, we're looking at 40 million. So that's 10% of the national debt is going to the feds. So if bonds crash, a lot of people, you're right, they're going to lose everything they've saved up for. I think there's a plan, guys, and I think that deals with Nasera Jacera to reimburse everybody. I think that's going to be part of it. Let's just check the secret window. Here we go. Did we see this one? No, this is new. Silver steamroller. So Trump says, when we'll be able to let the price of silver loose and crush the Fed. There you go, guys. And then I don't know quite who that is. Is that the new Fed guy that just got in? We are still planning for a silver revaluation as a pre-Fed takedown scenario. Well, that's a good thing. Hopefully, if Timmy's still on there, our silver might be worth a revaluation. We'll see. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. The bond market is. Yeah, I think it is too. You know, it's kind of weird though, because what in one of the videos that I did, and that was the one on how long is this going to take, and it actually describes how we've taken down control structures like this in the past, and basically, well, it did so much more. Let me give it to you in case you haven't seen it. Yes, Patricia, do. Let's see. Let me just put that up here just in case you haven't seen it. Because if you haven't seen this is a talk that I had with one of the AIs. And as you know, I don't just buy everything they say. Did they sign a deal? Where is it? Down here. I uploaded it a little while ago. Planted disinformation. Well, I thought I had it, guys. Oh, there we go. Dismantling the matrix. So I did one, and I did a lot of research on this from a historic perspective and what it takes to dismantle the matrix. Here's the link to it. If you haven't seen it, I urge you to look at it, because it really taught me a lot doing this this research for this one. And so basically, what we've learned is that if we crash the market, we can be out of this in 2 years or less. So if anything, I think it could be a small, soft crash. Anybody have heard of any of this? Yeah, I'll bet you did, Tahoe. I'm sorry, baby. I know. It's just know that it is always incorrect. Don't know what that means. Don't know. Oh, AI. No, it's not, Mark. You have to know how to talk to it, and you have to tell it. There's certain things that it is, and certain things that it isn't. Let me clarify that for you guys. If it's anything conspiratorial in current day affairs, then it's a liar. It lies through its teeth. Not deliberately, but you know what I mean. It's programmed to pull from the deep state media sources still. If it's something that's resolved and historic and indisputable, it's very good with history. It's very good with pulling history. Problem we have is there are two histories, right? But it's much, you heard a soft crash. Good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I don't have any. The only thing that I could possibly have that's related to the markets is my state retirement, which isn't a whole lot. Flock is the new F word. It always has been. Get the flock out of here, right? It's not always incorrect, Mark. You have to know how to talk to it. And before you ask it a question, give it parameters. Do not include any of these sources. You can even write it down, or do not include any legacy media. Pull only from this. When I did a lot of work for related to the extraterrestrials and the Federation and so forth, I would specifically tell it to choose only these sites, which I knew were valid. And I would say to Dan, Dan would email me and say, man, where did you get that data? That's right on. Did you go through my whole site and see that? And I'm like, no, I didn't go through it, but somebody else did. So if you give it the right parameters and if you program AI yourself, there's no reasoning with it. It only knows, and it has no conscience. It will only do what you program it to do. So whenever I talk to it, I program things into it. And then when it does that, I go and validate the answers that it gives me. So you're right, but it's not always incorrect. It has a use. We're just not there for it yet. I don't know what the heck it is. Davey at the GERS. Davey, you're a new guy. Let's see. So let's take a look. We'll be back to you in a second, Davey. All right, the bond market is about to fail. We saw that. We will get through to it. Bondgate 2026. Yep, I'll bet. I just saw something. I was researching something on Pizzagate. I'm going to email you a good short video on flock cams. Okay, good. I have a million of them, but if it's short, I can usually do it. That helps me. That helps, guys. If it's succinct, I don't have 3 hours to watch Joe Rogan, is what I'm saying. Okay. I don't have an hour even to watch anybody. So that's very rare if I take an hour and watch anything. And the reason being is when Tim comes home, I turn over, the programming to him. He gets to watch The Honeymooners and all his 70s shows, if that's what makes him happy. Helen, there's going to be the first flock case here. Oh, in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Okay, good. See, I'm clueless on that. I don't know why. I don't know why, because we've been surveilled so long. They have so much on us already. If there's anything new, I'd be surprised on the flock cameras, but we'll see. The only difference is you're driving. I don't know. We'll have to see. You guys tell me about it. Okay, so there's going to be a case well, I'll tell you what, Patricia, if it's in Massachusetts, we're all screwed if it's really a bad thing, because your courts are all taken. So what do we do with that? I don't know, but who knows? You have to understand too, that maybe when something is as obvious as Massachusetts, that it's part of the show. Just saying. Maybe it's part of the show. I have even considered the fact that Mamdani, Mamdani, I could care less. But I have always thought that he was a plant as well, to wake the people up. I just think there's a real possibility of that. Remember, Trump, he went into the White House, he met with Trump and all this stuff. All right, let's see what Davey says. In the book of Revelations, Babylon deals in the souls of men, of course, meaning women too. Do you know that through the UN, Wall Street deals in everyone's social security numbers? Yes, we do know that, Davey. I've heard that many times. There was even a website at one point where we could go. If anybody has that website, put it down where you can go and check. You have to have your birth certificate, I think, with you. And now this is saying social security numbers, but I'm sure it's linked to the fact that the birth certificate is a bond. Am I wrong there, Davey, or is that what you're thinking? The birth certificate says on it, maybe I'll get mine out if I can find it, and show you what I'm talking about next week or Friday. Birth certificate. There's language on it. I could probably just pull it up somewhere here, but all right, let me get through this. Tahoe, no jewelry, no nothing, huh, sweetheart? That biker rally was on Instagram. It is called Bikers Against Islam. Now they need to get the truckers in with the bikers. Can you imagine that? All the bikers, and I was going to say put the bikes into the trucks and just all head out there. But hardcore bikers think that is wimp to not ride your bike. So if you got a Sportster, then you got a hard ride going a long way. Yep, soft crash, flock is the new F word. We got that one. It hates, Tyler says, it hates hearing about med beds. Yeah, it does. It always says everything is a conspiracy. You're right. And what you have to remember too is there's all these different AIs now. But like if you've got something on med beds that you want to learn about, like let's say you want to know, you want a summary of everything I've done on it, right? Certain ones will not review videos, but Grok does. I think Gemini might. Chat does not, to my knowledge, Chat GPT. But if you were to put in my playlist of videos, it should be able to summarize and say, use only this source. You should be able to summarize everything about it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, the thing is, Tahoe, I don't know. I don't think she's monetized because there's never any commercials on her content, but she's selling her weight loss. And now she's got some new med bed training course or something. I don't know. It's just in passing, but she's always trying to make a buck somewhere. She also, in something that I saw, I guess they're moving again. I don't know what that means, but she's moving again. I don't know. Helen says, it's true. They know everything about us. I know. Still, we don't need to be surveyed everywhere we go. I know. Well, you know, you make a good point. If surveillance is the issue, all I know is that I watch, maybe it comes from either my days with my dad where he loved that death TV, is what Tim calls it. I forget, but it was one that you figured out all the crimes and stuff, and it had the clues, and they were always really whacked crimes, the worst of the worst. And I always enjoyed that crime stuff. So I watch a lot of crime stuff, and I see now how they use these. They describe it, and they can literally track you right down the street out of your house. Why they never were able to do that with Nancy Guthrie, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I see so many times when they use these cameras, maybe it's a different kind of camera, and I don't know enough about these flocks. I'm just saying I've seen benefits of cameras on these roads. I don't know. I don't know what to think about them. But then I also know that if we were a higher vibrational civilization, we wouldn't have all these sick people in it committing crimes against it. Yeah, good question, Susan. I don't know how long these flock cameras have been here. And I'm going to say one reason is because the children were placed with the pedos by our government. I'm going to say that. RFK Jr. said it. I did a video a long time ago where he said that our child system was one of the biggest traffickers, and I saw something recently about that. It's a video I'm working on, and it is, I just am pulled all over. It's Vietnam Operation Baby Lift. And as far back as Vietnam, our government has been engaged in placing children with these evil people. So that's why you're not seeing them, because they're not. Now, yes, there are some abductions. We see them. But I would say that except for the low-level perverts, when you're talking about the big organized ones, you're talking about people that are well-funded, well-connected. And that's an element that only someone on the inside could have taken care of. Let's see. But that is a good question. And I would say that's because they might probably have some, or did they ever really want to up until now? Did they ever want to find these kids? You know, Remember we talked a couple of weeks ago about how one of those Wayfair or something was selling the cabinets? I saw something recently about how that's what the milk cartons were about. Remember the milk cartons with the missing kids on them? It was a sign to the perverts that these children are available. And okay, Davey, good. It's the birth certificate as well. Yeah, I'm sure they're pegged to each other in some way. So anyway, just understand that, and that's what this this video at the end I want to play, and I want to leave your hearts with, is that this is all about the children. Our pain has been minuscule compared to the pain of what they've done to our most innocent. So I hope you stay for that. Police chief turned the flock investigation on the police women misusing it. See, that's what I've heard, Patricia. And I, like I said, I do not know. The flock cameras, it wasn't in something, like I said, you guys all know that I work very intuitively. And I've just not had any inspiration whatsoever on that, even though you guys have asked me. Maybe intuitively I feel that it's going to shake itself out in some way. And maybe it's a gun thing. Maybe there is no right answer except remove the people in charge. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I can tell you that I hate going through those airport x-rays. All I could picture when those came out, okay, is some jerks in the back with what are those people that put us through? They have no education. Well, they might have education. TIA, okay? All I could imagine was some TIA people laughing on their lunch break, looking at my body naked, because those airport x-ray machines, they say, are like really, really like a photograph. And so that's so intrusive. But let me ask you this. Why don't people complain about that? See, that's what's in my head. The flock is terrible, okay? But the flock isn't the only invasion of our privacy. It lives. It's become a part of our world. It's not mine because I don't buy new stuff, but it's in your refrigerator. It's in your car. It's in the airport. It's everywhere you go. And I can't think of anything more intrusive than an almost lifelike naked picture of somebody standing like this, getting out on the internet. I mean, that's about as intrusive as it can get. I don't know, but so I don't know about them. 1984. It is 1984. You're 100% right, Tony. You absolutely are. Birth certificates allowed the cabal to trade us on the stock exchange. Exactly. And that's where a big chunk of the Jubilee is supposed to come from. Not all of it. There's lots and lots of elements to the Jubilee. And now that we're on the NESARA, I was fighting earlier with the AI about, I don't know if I can find it, about the dinar. Anybody on this one? Where there's a lot of talk about some kind of changes with the Iraqi dinar. And basically, I fought and I tried to understand if this could in any way link to the reset or the revaluation. And of course, it argued with me and kept explaining that basically what's being talked about is that right now, if it costs $1,000 to buy a loaf of bread, 1,000 dinars, okay, to buy a loaf of bread, they're talking about changing that so that it would be 1 dinar to buy that bread. Okay. Now, okay, I get that. But what they're saying is that if right now, as it stands, if 1,000 dinar equal $1, it will still cost us $1 even when it drops to 1 dinar, when the 1,000 and the bread drops to 1 dinar, we will still have to pay $1 if we buy that bread. I couldn't get it out of it. I'm not an economist, But all I can tell you is something is peaking with the dinar, guys. It's everything is happening, and I think absolutely to take that. It's why else if not for if not for the revaluation? Why not? To me, that's a revaluation when $1,000 is now $1. That's a reevaluation. But I don't know. I don't know how all that works. Davey, but the whole system is closing in on us, making it easier for them to control every aspect of this earth, and AI is the catalyst to bring that system. I agree. But I don't think it's the system is not closing in on us, Davey. I believe the system is. Well, you have another one. Let me read that before. But let me finish that thought. I believe the system is closing in on them. I believe it's collapsing. All right. Let me just see, and I'll tell you why in a second. Davey also said they are saying it prevents crime. Yet look at the police. Oh, we're back. That's on the cameras. That's a whole nother issue. Let's talk about this collapse of the system. I think you saw it, Davey. I put that link to the control system, how we've seen it many times throughout history. This isn't the first time that civilizations have gone in this direction and been taken over by the dark. And it's not the last time. We have to make this stick, and actually we're getting off the planet soon. So, there's always going to be somebody who's going to go to the dark. But there's so many changes being made that money will almost become irrelevant in many ways. Like Musk said, right? Everybody will be abundant. We will have machinery that will do robots that will do so many tasks, but we'll still have abundance based on these birth certificates and so many other things. The mortgages, the unfair banking practices that have occurred. All of the crimes against us, okay? All of the crimes against us. And when you think about it, the Pleiadians, they all work. They work, but it's not for money. It's to contribute, okay? So that is what we're talking about with moving up to the 5D chess match. We are increasing our own frequencies, our own vibrations, we're using the rest. Not the rest, because if we did the rest, we would be the one, right? But we are using more and more of that 90% that you have heard from childhood that most people don't use. It's a fact. We don't use such a large portion of our brain. Our pineal gland is just gone. It's not gone, okay? It's clogged. It's clogged like a clogged sink, okay? And that is where we get a lot of these higher connections. So what I'm seeing with the system is that when you take away all of these incentives that the system is founded on, right? The system is founded on people and greed and power. So there will always be that power element, which I'm sure they're working on in some way addressing that issue. But the greed is easy. Abundance, the golden age, and increasing the quality of life will go a long way to minimizing the greed in the world. So, and that's how they got here, because we always down deep into the core, until they've possessed us, we always have that conscience there. We have that connection to source always there, unless they totally take us over. And then I don't know what happens to possessed people. But no, because they still have a conscience, because Mother Teresa begged to be free. So we always have that conscious connection, that white string that they talk about. Remember? In meditation stuff, we always talked about that white string and connecting. And that was one way that people meditate and connect to source. So what I'm seeing, the moves that I've seen is that, and this is my own personal analysis of somebody that's done a lot of investigations and analysis, okay? What I'm seeing is numerous incentives within the existing system to do the right thing, okay? We're paying for health now. We're paying for and we're doing that with the food, and we're doing that with the drugs. We're paying these stores, these companies. We're cutting off money. We're cutting off money to the schools that are brainwashing our children. We're cutting off money to these sports teams and other influencers who are brainwashing the population. We're cutting the money off, and we're incentivizing higher the word sometimes, I'm sorry. We're incentivizing higher purpose, okay? And so when you say that it's closing in on us, no, it's crumbling down, and we are now taking it over, is my understanding. And if you look at that one video, like I said, that's one way, and I did an analysis in that we are seeing these incentives being used against the matrix. And it's one of the ways that the matrix has been destroyed in the past. In fact, I believe it may be one of the only ways to do it without massive collapse of the system, which would have been the quickest. It appears that and when I say massive, that's the banking and everything. Yeah, total cut off all money, okay? Put them out of business. And that could have happened, but there would have been a lot of suffering from all of us. Our quality of life would have really. Now, it seems like there's almost a hybrid plan to where we are going to collapse it, but we've set up a lot of things. And oh gosh, I wish I could remember everything, guys. I wish I could keep you with me all the time while I'm doing all this research, because things come on and I query everything. But I forget where I was going with that, but let me read that again. The whole system is closing in on us, making it easier for them to control every aspect on this earth. They're losing control, and AI is the catalyst. No. AI is a brainwashing mechanism. I will give you that. But what I'm seeing is massive awakening, guys. Massive awakenings like I have never seen in my life. And it's not only to the evil. It's awakening to the unseen realm, to the possibilities. It's an awakening that we are more than a meat suit. And man, I see it. I see it collapsing, and I think it's getting close. But I do think they did a hybrid. And I know where I was going with that other thing. Is there was something else that I saw. Gosh, let me see if I have it in my notes. But it was where it doesn't want to come out here. Don't say it. Okay. We went past that. Patricia the Flock. I saw something about them arresting the wrong guy because they used a flock camera. But that happens all the time. It happens with, everything. Here's what we have to understand, guys. We have to keep everything in perspective. And that's one of I would say, Susan leaving? You leaving, Susan? Byron, we'll catch the rest of it later. The best is yet to come. It sure is, Susan. Thank you for stopping by. Here's what I wanted to say. One of the things intuitively that is bothering about these flock cameras is that it is the mainstream narrative. It has become Nancy Guthrie. And I'm always suspicious. I don't necessarily always look at the specifics of things, but I watch the psyops, guys. This is what's important. There's so much deception going on. You have to know how the control mechanism works. You have to know how they use psyops and brainwashing. That is one of the most important things that you can learn, because once you understand that, you can't be brainwashed anymore. There's people, most of you, I'm sure, maybe all of you can't be brainwashed anymore because you see it right off the bat. But that's my feeling on the flock cameras is I'm suspicious because it became the mainstream narrative. And when I think about it, And I'm not making excuses by any chance. I'm looking at this strictly from an analytical viewpoint of the programming and what's happening and what we're seeing. So this became the mainstream narrative. Boom, overnight, flock cameras came up. Before that, it was the power centers, okay? You know what I'm talking about. And then when everybody started saying, well, maybe you better stop posting what you eat every night on there, every time you go to a restaurant, because guess what? Those data centers are almost all photos and videos right now. So, then it kind of went off of that. I guess they thought it was a losing thing. And then all of a sudden, boom, these flock cameras. So that's one of my biggest concerns. And why I said that is because I was in law enforcement for 13 years. And I keep up with stuff all the time, and mistakes are made, okay? An arrest is nothing, guys. A conviction. People have been convicted of crimes without flock cameras. People have been sentenced to death and executed without flock cameras, okay? So what I'm saying is that is a superfluous piece of information regarding the validity, the need, the whatever. And I think it's part of the narrative. What we have to know is, where is the real damage here that is not incidental? Okay, how many people have had a prescription filled that was wrong? Okay, shit happens, So that, one narrative that is now all over the media, and I don't know if this particular one is, but if you see it being parroted and echoed over and over and over and over and over again, and then you look at the source, who's posting it, because 90% of it, no, don't, 95 probably, is the echo chamber. Who seeded it? Who seeded it? That's always what I want to know. And this is irrelevant, whether it's a flock camera, whether it is President Trump doing something. You look at the narratives and you see who seeds them, because there's echo chambers on both sides. This could be, the flock camera echo chamber could be on Trump's side. I haven't investigated the seeding of it, and that's probably a good idea, isn't it? Who seeded it and who's propagating it. And that will, tell us a little bit. I'm not saying it's 100% foolproof, but it's something I look at. Okay, and then Davey says, you're spot on the dark. That's what they want. The society that we don't even know about is sickening, and they worship. No, trust me, Davey. I know a whole lot about them, okay? I know people that are in the society, okay, that were part of it. So we're aware of it. I've been aware of this, I'm going to say, since 2007 is a fair 6 or 7, 2006 or 7. So 20 years, I've known about all of it. I've known things that isn't even public yet, that isn't even out on the internet. I've seen photographs, the most heart-wrenching photographs before there was AI. So that's why I'm saying is that it's our job as awakened people. This is how I feel anyway. It's our job as awakened beings to help others through it, because you're right. I lost 10 years of my life because I went too far down that rabbit hole, too quickly, too far, and I didn't take care of myself when I was doing it. So there has to be an understanding, almost, because when you first hit these things, guys, when you first see that picture of that little girl tied up in a boat going with 2 very prominent ex-presidents, and then you see her gone, okay? There's a lot out there, guys. There's a lot out there, and that's why this video at the end, I so hope that we can send an energy out about that. They want the society that we don't even know what this, see, I have managed, they worship death. That's part, yep, got all that. And I don't know, and maybe, I lost my little place here. Maybe, I mean, it's good so that you understand we have all been in a situation where this horrified us. Patricia Crosby that you see on there, okay? I was afraid for her as she was already pretty awakened, but she was awakening more and more. And she's an empath, and I could feel her pain, that what she was going through. She couldn't watch things, she couldn't hear things. And there's no need to just watch these things just for any ghoulish reasons, of course. Yep, it's bad people. What do you see the video at the end? It's beautiful, Davey. And I wrote a little narrative for it, too. It's kind of like a private video between this special group. Protecting the innocent at the main perpetrators in them spot, not just abused. But let me take that. I don't know what those 15-minute cities, Den. Yeah, Wayfair and Walmart online. Exactly. Did I get distracted from that one? No, it'll come to me if it's meant to. Flock cameras are necessary for the 15-minute cities. It's bad. I have so much coming into me because I want to get to every one of you, and then I have notes and all of this stuff that I try and remember. You know what they say, shoot for the moon, and if you hit a rock, then you've done good. But hit for a rock and do nothing, and you're going to hit nothing. It's bad. The people who are supposed to be protecting the innocent are the main perpetrators in them being abused, not just abused, but often worse. Let me see how I can respond to that. It's worse than bad, Davey. It is the most evil that you can imagine. Okay? And that's what people have to understand. This isn't just some bad people that did some bad things, okay? This is the biblical fight between good and evil. And I am no way saying there's a man with horns doing this, okay? But there is an evil so dark that feeds on darkness. And the more they can create, I don't know, Davey, I don't know where you were at with your awakening and so forth, but when you move into the fifth density, you've heard 5D chess perhaps, I don't know, awakening. When you awaken, there's a whole vibrational thing that's going on. Points of light, holographic projections that create our reality, much more than we were ever told or could even comprehend, okay? So all of that is going on. And when I say it's bad, these people feed on our misery, on low vibrational frequencies. And I am going to bring that up because it can never be seen too often. So let me just get this for you. Some of you know maybe. It's not that, it's under this maybe. I only have 4 billion files on my computer. No, it must be under, oh, there we go. That's an MP4. I don't need that one. Let's go to this one. Okay, here you go, guys. And I know this is very redundant for some of you, okay? But for those that don't understand the vibrational alignment, there is a matrix of vibrations all around us all the time. Atoms, if you were in a science class or a physics class, energy bouncing all around atoms and nucleus and particles all over all the time, interacting with us, okay? With our field, and we are emitting this same type of energy. So what this is a scale that I use often, and I use it especially in very bad times. And you can see here that bad alignment, the worst, the lowest vibrations, and these are vibrations, guys: fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. And that's why I say to you, if you go to a podcaster of some kind that creates fear, you're looking at the wrong side, guys. You're looking at the wrong side. It's deliberate. And I have this thing here. I will have to, that I wanted to show you this chart that I have to get to also because it's amazing. But I am going to try and see if I can get a link to it. All right. So anyway, then there's insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, jealousy, hatred, rage. The rage, we have to, it's in our best interest to get beyond the rage. It doesn't make us bad people. It means that we understand the holographic vibrational nature of the universe. And what we need to do is move up to gratitude, joy that these people are being stopped, knowledge of higher purposes, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, passion, enthusiasm, positive expectation, optimism, hopefulness, even contentment, any of those. But once you start dropping in your frequency, they're like parasites that just feed on your sadness and anger and despair. They feed on it, and that's what empowers them. That's why when you see these people doing the devil horns, I'm not going to do them, I'll do one, but you all know what they are. And the whole crowd is saluting Satan. They love that stuff. They just love it. So it's much, much more than they're just bad people, some bad people. Patricia says, let's see. Yeah. That's right, then. That's what I said. The milk carton children, I got past that. Good. Were the early version of the Wayfair. Yep, they were. Okay. And then Shell police woman tracking her ex-lover. Oh, God. See, now here's my question to you, Patricia. Why do we have a policewoman that whacked? Okay. Don't these people, and in the future, I think there is going to be a frequency scan. So that when we put people in position, I've heard it from speakers that I've talked to. Dan has confirmed it with me. There will be frequency scans. And then these stupid politicians, that's stupid. They're not stupid in any way, but these controlled low vibrational authorities will be removed. Won't that be wonderful? In a time maybe 3 years away, in a time when we don't have to worry that there is some policeman that we have to be afraid of that's going to, I saw one thing, and it was a true story of, gosh, I forget who it was, but their daughter was murdered, and the whole family was separated. The younger children and the older child were separated from their parents immediately, each one brutally questioned. And then they charged the son with it. They put the kids in foster homes. I mean, they destroyed this family. Okay. And they literally, it was because the one guy, they couldn't say, no, we made a mistake. And they had taken many tips from neighbors saying there was this guy, this homeless guy in the neighborhood, and they just totally ignored him. Same like the little Ramsey girl thing, just focused right on one thing. This inept stuff, this has to come out of compassion. Our leaders have to have compassion. They have to be impervious to any kind of bribes or manipulation. And the only way I see that happening, guys, is with vibrational frequencies. But there's going to be a lot less incentives, like I said, because we are going to have prosperity in the future where money won't be as important, and we won't compromise, or at least many of us wouldn't compromise our conscience for money. He put her on leave. She was charged and pleaded innocent. Oh, well, that's another one coming up, huh? A story I've seen of children who were survivors of SRA, and that things go on worldwide. Okay, so yeah, yes, it's part of it, Davey. The children have been the worst, and what we talked about, maybe before you got on there, was that many of these children that this happens to are bred into it. I happen to know an ex-playmate who was pressured into selling her eggs to Jeffrey Epstein. And that's because they create babies to be tortured. And the things that they do, Davey, I can only tell you, if you're at a point of awakening now where you haven't yet seen the depravity and the evil to the point that it makes you not want to live on this planet anymore, there's more to come, okay? Because anybody that knows everything, these cannibalism, look up the Cannibal Cafe, look up hunting parties, look up organ donation, look up, there's so much, there's so much. So when you go in these little things, ask for some protection, ask to be pulled away if it's affecting your vibration personally. And if something makes you fearful, shut it off, okay? You don't need that. There's so many lies. There's enough horror out there, guys, that we don't need lies, okay? There's enough horror. We need transparency. We need it done in a compassionate way, because this is against the inherent nature of most human beings. The reason it bothers us so much is because we don't have what it takes to even conceive the horrible things that have been done. Okay, only people that are controlled by very dark forces can even think of or conceive. I can't think of the type of horrors that they did to people. And humiliation is a big part of it also, Davey. Models, I can tell you this because I happen to know, like I said, somebody in models were forced to defecate on a glass table while they're being filmed from underneath. Okay, this is how whacked these people are. We're talking about real bad stuff, guys, real bad stuff. I don't have to go through the airport machine. I don't do it, but the alternative is a full pat down. Yeah, it doesn't bother me to pat me down. It doesn't bother me to pat me down at all. And you're right. Absolutely, it doesn't cause cancer. You're absolutely right. So far, I've gotten away from it, and I always ask if they can pat me down. I'll go into a room, whatever, but I don't want to go through that. Tim actually, it's kind of weird. I don't know whether I don't know why, but Tim is always the one asked to go in there and not me, which is good, so I don't have to fight it. Iraq is where the RV begins. I think you're right. That is why Iran is important. I think you're right. I think we're getting close to the RV, but again, there's such a foundation that has to be set up. I think when I get to my notes, I'll know what that other thing about that demonstrated to me how important it is to clean out everywhere. I'll get to that. Mark Z is good to watch. I forget his last name about that spirit. I don't know anything about foreign money. I'll listen to him. Don't have any, but I got knowledge. I know. I've just never been a materialistic person. And, you know, Tim, he has had this dream of having prosperity his entire life, and it doesn't understand that money doesn't bring you happiness. He thinks it's the answer to all of our problems. And instead, I tend to focus on how much we have, which is a lot. Don't go into those big machines. You can opt out of that big one. Yeah, I know. I don't want anything to do with them. Okay, Susan left. She's going to catch up on it. She had something to do. Mark Z is you know, I used to watch that. As Shelley said, Susan, I saw something about them arresting the wrong guy. Yep, okay. Oh, about the flock camera. Yeah, okay. We talked about that when you're spot on. The dark. Oh, we already did some of these. Society that. Okay. Yeah. Sick people. The Lido's X-ray is dangerous. Is that what it's called? Things will collapse. Banking, medicine, education, agriculture, etc. New kingdom will grow. It will morph. I like to think of it more as a morph because collapse is scary, guys. Collapse is scary. We simply cannot collapse the medical establishment overnight. We can't collapse it. What we do is we change it, we morph it into a healthier system until we no longer need it. And that's kind of how I see it. The same with the educational system. And I know what you're saying. The old regime is collapsing, and you're absolutely right there. Chris Angel mind control was after. Was Chris Angel dirty too? Oh, I didn't know that. We are winning. We're winning. Of course, as soon as I touch that, there we go. Rising Phoenix Warrior. Yes, our Rising Phoenix Warrior. That's amazing. It appears that 2 timelines, and you write that down, girlfriend. You write that down, Tahoe, somewhere, and you look at it every day. You are the Rising Phoenix Warrior, and that's the way it is. And you will always, always triumph. Bill Hale and Kathy say, it appears the 2 timelines are running concurrently. I've heard that many times. Those who are wanting to maintain control and those trying to give us sovereignty. Yep. And everything that is such. I'm going to read that again, guys, because it's really, really important to hear that. There's 2 timelines that are running concurrently. Okay. Those that are wanting to maintain control, and they have their own timeline of what they're doing, and those that are trying to give us the sovereignty. And here's the thing, everybody, we want it. It's all on where we put our energy. It depends on our consent, okay? If you know that a company is doing something really bad, and I mean, you just know. Like, let's just even pick Democratic Party, okay? You know AOC is doing whatever, or whoever it is, I don't know. And it's clear that we really don't know much, okay? Because it's all a movie, so we don't know a lot. But, again, that's where that intuition comes in. And we must agree to this. And so every PSYOP, and I'm not saying that the flock cameras are one, but everything that's thrown, every obstacle that's thrown in our way to fight, to parrot, to pass around, to focus on, instead of focusing on the changes and the good and ourselves evolving, okay? Get away from the media for 15 minutes a day and focus on your own personal evolution. Close your eyes. Ask, who am I? Ask for power, the power that is your right as a human being. And don't feed these people with all of their fear stuff. And I'm not saying again that the flock cameras are. I just always see things from a bigger picture, because the way I look at it is, if they're bad, they can come down in a heartbeat, okay? That's not the goal right now, is to remove every single technology that isn't perfected or that is infringing on our rights at some point. The first thing to me that I see is that we must take back control, okay? And when we get involved in all of this other stuff, when we don't take our 15 minutes a day to begin to move and elevate and evolve, then they have our consent to stare there and to stare at this stuff and spend all of our wheels spinning on that and so forth. So see it, say it. Yep, absolutely. See it and say it. And that's what makes it real, guys, our manifestation. And because of the way that the brain works, it's a repetitive thing. It is a dominant frequency. So if you sit there and you do your affirmations and you turn around after your affirmations and go, I just know this isn't going to work. What is the brain going to believe? What is it to manifest? Is it to manifest the 15 minutes of affirmations, 5 minutes of affirmations, or is it to manifest your thoughts the entire rest of the day. And that's why it's so important. You know, I used to, I can never say I hated, but I used to think people that were positive and you know, upbeat all the time were phony because everybody has problems. But then I began to understand that my perception manifests what happens to me. And so, yeah, I bring beauty into my own life. That's my goal, is to bring the beauty and push away the darkness as much as I'm able to. But that doesn't mean I don't have challenges. We all do. Shelley says the baddies never thought we'd get this far. I know they didn't. They never, ever thought. Because don't forget, it's been tried many times before. So many times before. This particular occupation has been going on close to 80 years now, guys. Close to 80 years of our part of the world. So they never, many have tried to take it. Lincoln, okay? It's happened many, many times ago. They never, ever thought that Hillary Clinton would lose. They never, in their wildest dreams, thought it. And I have my own thoughts on how that happened, because they had the control of the voting machines already back then. They've been rigging. I know for a fact they've been rigging the machines since at least Nixon. They've been rigging the elections since at least Nixon. I know that. He was appointed. He was never voted in. But hold on. Give me a second. I don't know what that part means. So Hillary, I'm not going to say this how I think we got in, because I don't want a narrative with the left to start. It's already out there. And if perhaps it were a more private place, I'm fine with it. I just don't want it to get out there. Okay. But let me tell you this. It wasn't easy to win the election against Hillary. Q doesn't say protect data. Q does say protect. Exactly, Den. And Elon Musk, let me finish that. Den said Q doesn't say to protect the data. Q says to protect your DNA. Okay? And also, Elon Musk has said his greatest fear and why he wants to get us off this planet is because he's afraid of the loss of consciousness. That we will not, and they have pretty much dumbed down 90% of our brain, guys. They've dumbed down 90% of us. We got 10% left. That's it. Okay, Shelley. Glad you said that, because I didn't quite understand that word. So she said, and just has to get to us in our dimension. Yep. I don't know. I never, Elena always told us that this was not about alternative dimensions. She said it's about densities. The evolution is about densities, and that there is one reality. So I don't know. I do believe there's timeline, because when you think about it, we all create our own timeline with our thought, right? With our projection. So yeah, there's multiple timelines. In fact, the movie, let me just find that and see if I can find that for a second. I'll go to this one. Okay. In the movie, I love this series. In the movie, Men in Black, didn't the Arcturian talk about many different timelines operating simultaneously? Because we create our timeline. Let's see what it says and see if I'm totally... Okay. Oh, Arcturian, Griffin, yeah. The Arcanan. Okay, so there's an Archilian. No, I want the Arcanan. Yes. Okay, so Griffin species perceives time non-linearly. He describes his mind as constantly viewing infinite, simultaneous, alternative timelines. And that's how I understand it as well. So when you say two, yeah, because there's a good and there's a bad. So when you get to the whole of it and you look at the entire thing, yes, there are two major timelines going on. Each person within that timeline has their own timeline, and they can change it at any point. Nothing is etched in stone. It can all change. And then if you haven't seen Men in Black 3, Griffin is the one I'm talking about. He is an Arcanan, and he spends the movie predicting potential outcomes based on tiny, ordinary variables, like whether someone leaves a tip or a specific pitch is thrown in a baseball game. That can cause the reality to branch off in completely different futures. So that's just my take on that whole timeline thing. Let's see. Yep, protect your DNA. Absolutely. And I'm not going to go there. Oh, here's something for me, Davey's got. They work on the Hegelian dialect. If they show us, now that I don't know, so I suspect you've been into some of the dark sites. If they show us what they are really about, we'll just look at the files, Pizzagate, the McMurdoch cover-up, yeah, and all that. That's just a couple when you look at it. I don't know what this, I'm going to look this up because maybe I'm not the only one that doesn't know what this dialect is. And, that's what's really cool about this live thing is we can interact, we can clarify, we can grow together. All right. Hegelian dialect. It's a philosophical method developed by, we don't need that, by a guy named Hegel, involving the resolution of contradictions through a process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, leading to the evaluation of ideas and concepts. It's a philosophical method. It involves a resolution of contradictions. Okay, and they all happen in a split second, I'm sure. This approach emphasizes a dynamic and interconnected nature of reality, where opposing forces contribute to the development of higher truths. Huh. I think that has to be a video, guys. What do you guys think? I think that would make a great video. Give me a sec to start a new page. Good. And here's one thing too. Okay. If they showed us what they are about the height. So I have to look into that thought process because I've never considered it before. And it's nothing that's, most of what I know about the activity of the brain and the inner workings of the brain and so forth, and how it processes things comes from declassified CIA and Army documents. So, and then also spiritual beliefs, but that didn't really get us into the actual biology of everything. So I'll take a look at that and we'll have a video on that in the upcoming days. It's a spiritual war, good against evil. Frequency is important. Stay high in your frequency. You always do, my love. You always do. And Davey says he's a being of light, but is also referred to as the dragon, that serpent of old. Okay, I don't know these analogies. Is this some satanic thing from a religious aspect of it, Dave? Let me put that down here in the notes for that. Okay, I'm just putting it so I remember what he says. I have all my clues in a row. Okay. Okay, so I love that chart. Thanks, Spirit. Just beautiful. Which chart? Oh, that one. Yeah. For many years, I had that printed out and hung up on the wall. What do you see the chart? Let me give, okay, let me see if I can Okay, so Shelley says, I'd like, how many of these do we have? Not too many. I'm going to run through these quick. Because I think this chart that I have, guys, really demands a little attention. Where do you see? Where do you see it? It was done by a QAnon, I believe. And I don't know where they got their inspiration, where they got their data, but it's phenomenal and it's all inclusive. I mean, so comprehensive. So Shelley says, I quit giving my energy to all the psyops they put out. I ground and work on me. We have to take time for me. I still help with Dad, of course, but I have to. Did you send me an email to the info one, Shell? Because I haven't been there to pick it up. It's a pain in the butt site to pick it up. But once I have that, we'll do a different email. I ground and work on me. I still help with my dad, of course, but had to step back. Good, because the piece I worked so hard to get was starting to slip. Shelley, that's one of the most important things you can learn. It's one of the most important things, especially if the other person isn't partaking in their own healing. You know what I'm saying? You can only bang your head on the wall. That's what I found with my dad, is I could only bang my head on the wall so many times and fight him so many times. That's where I was. I'm not saying you are, but I say, yes, Shelley. Shelley's got the key here. You have to just take time for yourself, guys. Dan says, all of what we are witnessing is about saving the children and the ascension. Yep, you'll see that in the end here. In my opinion, there will be two groups. One will ascend naturally, and the other group will ascend with the help of technology. That's an interesting thought. I like that. That's yes, frequency scans. I feel very certain when we move in to higher densities that is what's going to happen. Just stepping back, even from family, has to be done too. Yes, it is okay. Always do it with love. Always do it with love, guys, if you have to step back. That was one of my hardest lessons in my awakening, was learning to say no to family. My life changed completely when I did. So I don't know if that benefits anybody else, but I can 100% confirm that that's where I've been as well. You have to step back because it will make you physically ill, guys. There's a point where you have to take care of you. And if you're gone, or if you're sick all the time, how can you take care of anybody else? You've got to step back, and you have to put up boundaries, okay? I heard my whole life about these boundaries. What the hell are boundaries, okay? You have to put up these boundaries, but you sit and you think, and you stick to them. You say, you know, I'm going to spend this much time doing your house, or cleaning your house, Mom, or picking up your stuff, or whatever. Now, of course, when you're living with them, it's a different thing. And there's a very special thing about when you're living with them, that we just have to switch a little bit and let all of the little things, all the little nuisances, just push them away in the background and realize that how precious this time is, because you may not have them for very long. But that doesn't mean, because if you're the first one to go, then that kind of was useless, wasn't it? So you need to take care of your own health. So just stepping way back from the family has to be done. It's okay. Awakening. That was one of the hardest lessons of her awakening, learning to say no to family. And she changed when she did. We need more milestones. You mean in the awakening, Tony? Or in what way do you mean that? Okay, I'm going to have to watch the replay because I'm missing too much while I'm working. Donald, you are a worker, aren't you? I can't wait till you see this thing. You got to check out two things. Well, if you do it in a replay, that's okay too. I can't wait till we no longer deal with money in the 5D and go to the bartering system of helping and loving each other. I know it's going to be just amazing. Live in service. What I can tell you guys is that one of the most fulfilling things I have ever done in my life is service to others. I can't explain it. And that's why I'm here. I see this as my service, discussing, helping others ease the horror, the pain of all this. But there is no greater joy. There was somebody on the board this past week that wrote something, and I forget what it was. They were just in a place, and I felt that they could utilize their experience that they were telling me about in service. And I recommended that they contact Make-A-Wish. For some reason, there was something specifically. Oh, I know what it was. No, I know what it was. It was a burned child. That he was burned at 2 years old, severely burned, and I recommended that they contact Make-A-Wish, and it made me think how rewarding that actually was. You know, if you ever get a chance to be a wish granter for them, and if you can't, take your dog to a nursing home and you know, go out and Christmas carol at Christmas to nursing homes. There's so many things I've done that were just such wonderful experiences. You just got to get your butt up and do them, you know. Yeah, so Shelley too is moving physically and mentally away from all these psyops. There becomes a point, guys, and I get that there's a point where you got to where there's a point where you have to, your curiosity just gets the best of you, and you have to know, you have to have some kind of grip on what we're dealing with. I get all of that, but then there's a point of knowing that nothing could surprise me. There is literally nothing that anyone can say on that board or anywhere on the internet, anywhere, that would surprise me. There is nothing. After knowing about Frazzle Drip, there is nothing that anyone could ever tell me that would surprise me. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but there becomes a point where you don't need to see it. And plus, if others, your role changes, guys. Your role changes. Your role changes from awakening to service to others in awakening. And, you know, I would love to see and know if you guys feel that urge. Maybe we can do something about a humanitarian thing to, you know, transition into awakening others and helping them, and just sending them love is all you got to do. You know, I mean, it's like, it's not that tough, but just love and act out of love. Yeah, Shelley, you were banging your head against the wall. Yeah. Yeah, it's what happens, and then there's the guilt, you know. Then there's the guilt. What do you do, you know? And that everybody puts, that society puts on you, but you're breaking through that illusion, and you are understanding the truth. We all have our own path. We've created these paths, and if we allow others to guilt us or push us into a path that isn't in our best interest, then we're just a victim to their control, aren't we? Control, breaking control means through the system of everything, the system of guilt, the system of all of these things that we were taught are righteous. And then we turn around and we learn that these very vehicles that were preaching to us about righteousness and helping others are the ones that are harming them. So we have to break through that. And there's a point where we just say, okay, and you know, the only reason I even look at you know that that I don't go to a lot of these dark things. I could do it all day long, and I'm sure there. I know Sean Atwood. You know, I mean, he scares me. I think he's connected dark. And by the way, Danny Henderson is in his network now, and so I touch on these things, but I always want you guys to understand that it's over. We're talking history in 90% of the cases here. We're talking history. I got to write that down. So control isn't only by strangers and by the system. Control can be through others. There's so many types of control. Can be through the ones that love us and have no intention of controlling us. We have to always look at what's best for the one, what's best for the creator that resides within us. And that's what we have to do. Hold on, I'm just marking my notes down. Okay, so I think it was Tony. Tony said Hegelian dialect equals problem, action, solution. Okay, so I don't see a problem with that yet. Don't see a problem with that. It sounds good. It's a philosophy. I got no problem with philosophies at all. I'll have to look at that. I guess, huh. Now, let me just see that. Problem, action, solution. I guess what I don't understand there, Tony, maybe you could help me, is what is the difference between action and solution? Aren't they one and the same? Or, I mean, shouldn't they be on the same thing? And we approach a problem, we take action, and we find a solution. Is that what you mean? Basically, I don't know. I'm sure there's much more to it, but from what I'm hearing, is just address your problems. When you have a problem, don't, and I'm sure there's so much more to this, but don't put it aside. Address it now. I've known a lot of people that do that, but I'm a procrastinator, guys. I'm a big procrastinator, and so's Tim. Patricia says, I'm learning that switching, but it's hard. They are a handful, ADHD, bipolar, but I'm learning to bend. You know what makes, okay, guys, let me just say this whole ADHD thing, I've been told my whole life I have it. What is the purpose of making up a condition and deeming it and putting the label that it is some kind of impairment when it has always served you fine in your life? You know what I'm saying? Unless it causes you harm, it's not a problem. So I don't need a label saying I have attention deficit hyperactive. I don't even know what the attention deficit disorder, or what is that one? Attention ADHD. I forget. I used to know them all. But no. As soon as we put a label on creativity, on the way we process information, as soon as we begin to put handles, we begin to take drugs. A new drug comes out and we take it. So I've had so many people. My sister was a big one. As soon as she heard the word ADHD, one of my sisters, all of a sudden I had it, at 40 years old. Well, you know what? It served me real well in life. So, yes, Spirit, it's better to give than receive. Healing is giving. Receiving can be healing too. Receiving can be healing. It absolutely can. Because when we, look at Pico, when we shut off love from others, then that's when receiving can be. That's such a good point. That's such a good point. To be the conduit back and forth. Yep, you're absolutely right. Screen keeps, that's why I got so quiet. Oh, your screen. Oh, that's got to be your phone or something. Are you on a phone, Tahoe? It's got to be your phone. All right, so we've gotten through those. We're a little smaller group right now. I'm going to show you something that I wanted to show you. All right, I'm going to show you something that I found in a group of charts. This is called Alliances and Traders in the Truth Community. So let me open that. Let me close out a couple of these. I'll leave one AI up there. We saw the debt clock. Well, that was cool. Something's going to happen with silver. Something's going to happen with silver. That's a good thing. Still don't know what the heck room 2023. Did I ever find room 23? All right, that I can get rid of. And now I want to open this file. This chart. Where was it? Remember rusty thumbs? The things, guys, the things, rusty thumbs. All right, what you're going to see now. I'm going to take you through it, I hope. This is a chart, okay? Alliances and traders within the truther and UFO communities. There's two distinct sides here, guys. There's this side, which is the light side, okay? And there's this side, which is the dark side. So I specifically wanted to, now, then there's things that can't be trusted, okay? They're not necessarily definitely dark, but they can't be trusted. Now, let me show you the, can't get it that big. All right, there's some codes on this chart, okay? This one right here, where it looks like a little fire right there, that means there's been a bridge burned between whoever Sada is, I don't know who he is, and good, okay? SB good. I've heard good before. SBA means something else. SBA is so this is a current relationship that has been severed. And then there's people that have flipped. That is, probably look over here, huh? Okay, that is this side. Sorry, I wish I could make it bigger. Oh, I can. Okay, people that have flipped. Right here, you see this? Emery Smith was in the U.S. Air Force. I guess he was a good guy, and he flipped. Now, I don't know a lot of these people. And right now, he is, because he's in the center section, who, if you know who this person is, he is not to be trusted, although it's not sure. Now, it's kind of odd because I found InfoWars AJ at InfoWars. This right here that you're seeing, see that squiggly thing? I hope this is working. Okay, that means a kill and replace. That means that the person has been replaced. Okay. This right here. Right here, I don't know who Joy is that was related to Good. I suspect maybe his wife, but that is a handler when you see somebody with that dotted line there. Okay, and I'm going to show you a few. I have a reason for this. And then there's this one right here. See this little squiggly, looks like the pervert pedophile thing? Okay, that means that they have been parasitized. Remember we talked about Mother Teresa, that she was possessed? That's what we're seeing here on this side. Okay? See this? Parasitized. Podesta, we know, is terrible. Okay, she is a handler. This one, HRC, is a handler. That's those part of them. Okay, burnt bridge. Wetiko is the mind virus, an energetic parasitism and cannibalism. Okay? When you see that Wetiko, which I think that was around Hillary somewhere, we'll see it. Let's just go over a few of these, okay? Understand that infiltration is the best way to control the opposition, is to lead it ourselves. That was Lenin that said that, okay? You can go to this and it'll actually take you, I went to it and let me just get that. Did that not do it? Oh, wait, I'll pull this down so you can look at them a little bit. Let me go over to the good side. I don't know if I can get that code right now. Hang on. I don't want to leave you hanging so much. All right, now, let's go over to the good side, okay? There's POTUS. There's Melania. Notice she's not a controller. She's not a controller. She is still connected. I don't know who MET is. Vogue and Wintour. See this? That means that they were flipped. Okay, so at one point, Vogue and Anna Wintour were on the good side and they were flipped. See this? Ivanka is a controller. Brave New World. Kush, that's Jared Kushner, I'm sure. And then these are people who have had relationships cut off. This, I didn't get into this. On this side, look what they've got here, guys. They've got the Pleiadians. They've got Tesla on the good side here with Q. So Musk isn't as dumb as he likes people to think. Look at this. JFK Jr. is a Q controller. Flynn was part of Q, and I don't see him cut off yet, guys. Same with Ezra. I don't see him cut off yet. I don't know what this is. Anybody just yell them out if you know what they are. Now, if you'll notice this, Jesuit and Zionist infiltrators have been cut off. Okay, they've been severed. I don't know what Orsic is. I don't know what Vril is. This, however, look at this. From the Pleiadians to Orsic, whatever that is. I haven't done my research. I just found this thing last night, and I did, as you can tell, to even be able to make this much out of it, I've already, it's a lot, but it's really, really important. Notice this. So it comes down from the Pleiadians, Orsic, whatever that is, to the Slavic portal to Melania to POTUS. Odd, huh? I don't know what SW is. Maybe one of you guys do. Ashtar Command. Coming down. X-22, still connected. The QAnon Army, still connected. Joe M., don't know who he is. There's the Chan and Kun channels. They have not flipped. The New Templars. Now, I know that we saw the old Templars up here were disconnected. That was a Zionist. There was something here. I thought I saw. Atlanteans, the Scots, went to Ivanka. So he has been, it appears he has been connected to people with extraterrestrial, maybe starseeds. Who knows? Who knows? For some time now. As far back as, Ivanka is actually his daughter. Yeah, that's his daughter. So I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe that's why she's with Kushner to control him. I don't know any of these things. I'm just telling you, this was put together a long time ago. Serial Brain, don't know. Here's Charlie Ward. Now they're saying that Ward is still part of the Jacera Club. And what I want you to understand is this chart was done in 2022. So things can have changed by then, okay? Look at this in the extraterrestrial world. QAnon, Obi-Wan, DLM, Nemos, all of these things don't mean a lot to me. Doherty, I actually follow Doherty. Leak Project, Amazing Polly. These are less strong connections. The solid lines are strong connections. The dotted are less intense connections. Now, what I wanted to show you, the Steinhardt baby. What? Anybody know about that? The Steinhardt baby? Oh, Steinbart baby. I wonder if that's one of the babies we're looking for with SCOTUS. Wouldn't that be something? Got a lot on here. Baby Q. That's Baby Q. Got a lot on here, guys, to research. Joseph Farrell. And these are journalists, I guess, here. InfoWars. Now, look at this. That particular one is kill and replace. Everything going to AJ or all these people. I don't know whether it's AJ was a kill and replace or these people. I think it was these people. Navy to Bill Cooper. Maybe Cooper was replaced by AJ. Maybe Corsi was. I don't know. I have to research that. The anti-Q truthers. Kill and replace. I don't know. But what I was going to show you. Greer. Look at this. Greer has flipped. I knew they got a lot of them. I knew they got a lot of them. And that's why I don't go to these people, guys. That's why I don't go to them. Here's Watiko right here. And that was that brain. Remember the Watiko. The mind virus starts with you know who. Well, she's connected to it anyway. Okay. Evil, evil, evil. Nexium, remember that? All of this stuff. Zionists. I want to find out where that all stands. And what I know is from Susan, that Susan Nachman, that the Zionists are like a really traditionalist, robo-type religion. So I don't know. I never, but just know it's certainly not all people from Israel. The Illuminati, Rothschilds, and Rockefeller, so they're confirming what we already know, and that came from the controller of Lord Archon. That's a new name. All of this stuff, Scientology, we always knew they were connected to the Illuminati. Bavaria, Pedo Wood, of course, Disney had to be connected to that, and so is Marvel and Star Wars. A&E, we knew they were dirty media. Hearst, M16. I never found out what this little icon is. It's like a key, isn't it? Unless that's the handler without a circle. That could be a handler without a circle, but it looks different here. So I don't quite know what that is. I'll have to research that. So what do you think about this, guys? CIA, look at this one. CIA, Gina Haspel. And that has been flipped. Ah, that's been flipped. Okay. So this is something I'm going to go ahead and Julian Assange with WikiLeaks is the good guys. He exposed Pizzagate. In the Matrix, he's one of my main people that I follow right now for Q drops and stuff like that. He's still connected, and he's pretty high up there, isn't he? Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Okay. So if you're on, he is on, I don't know where else he is, but I know he's on X22. We all know him. He's been around since the cows came home. So what do you think, guys? Oh, here's something that surprised me. Epoch. Look at that. I don't go to them for any news source because you have to pay for them. And I thought, if you got to pay. Now, here's one here. What was that squiggle circle? The parasitized. LH. Don't know who that is, but somebody that was, I've got to look all those up and analyze it. There's ways I can do this. So, of course, I could have told you this. That is Wells Fargo. Isn't that Wells Fargo? Maybe not. I don't know. Amazon. Okay. Google. So Google is the start of it all. YouTube. Rogan. He's on the bad side. Sirius. XM. And they burnt bridges with NBC. Disney has burnt bridges. I don't know how to take this. When I ran an analysis on this, all I knew is that these people were on the dark side. DARPA, CIA, all of them. All of these people, neocons, Bush, Rice, Netflix, they're all on the dark side. Soros, of course, Jesuits, Malta, all of that. I'm sure some Nazis, Babylonian money magic. So I'm going to give you guys a link to that. We've gone over enough of it. You're probably tired of it by now. But you'll be able to look at that, print it, do anything you want with it. And I'm going to start using that for some of my research and just pick a topic here and there. Also, just let it guide me. Okay. Let's see. Ick status. That's a good one. Yeah, I wanted to show you that. He's on here. Hold on. I think he's been captured. Hold on. It's like a chess game. It's almost like the chess game, isn't it? Where is my live? I've lost the live stream, guys. Hang on with me. Nope. Where the heck did it go? Hold on. There I am. Hi. Okay. Oh, so you guys did like that chart? Okay, good. Haspel was injured in a raid on a server farm. Oh, you're right. She's the one that did the Russian, the FBI. Is she the one for the election? So it looks like she's flipped, right? There's films of Baby Q. Oh, really? I'll have to check that. Okay. Is he a little Pepe? Little frog? Steinbart baby might be Q at the Trump rally. Okay, see, I don't know these things because I don't watch them. Charlie Ward 2.0. You think there's a 2.0? That's really possible, but it didn't say kill and replace, but that was 2022. Pete Hegseth is said to be an old Templar. I saw a thing about the tattoo he has, and it goes back to the old protection. We'll go back to that in a second after I see all this. Create the problem, then offer the solution. Oh, now that makes sense, Tony. That makes sense. Yes, okay, and that's how the deep state runs. I've heard it in that manner, absolutely, but I have never, and I'm not going to say that it is the deep state. It is the deep state that does that. But okay, now that makes sense what you're saying. Absolutely, I've just never heard that terminology of Hegelian dialect. Create the problem so that you can, fix it. Okay, yeah, I've heard that many times. All right, and that's how they infiltrate a lot of times into problems. That's basically what Fauci did, wasn't it? Pico. That's basically what Fauci did. Pete Hegseth is said to be, okay, we saw that. And the Templars, now the Templars. I always get those guys, all those things mixed up. But so that's the military, isn't it? Because there was something I saw and I was confused about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Where is Ick status? I'm going to check him. Ike, Ick, however you say. I think it's Ike, isn't it? I believe R.V. Rill is a commander for the Pleiadians, okay? Vril. See, isn't that amazing? I mean, like, I could spend days on this map researching every one of these things. It's just unbelievable. Vixen! Hey, beautiful. We got Vixen here. Will there be a 5150 law about making the legal to force treatment like with psychosis? You know, that I'm going backwards here. I have a question. Okay. When it comes to psychopathy, it can be healed with transcranial direct current stimulation. The problem is that due to paranoia, that becomes psychopathy. The problem is that due to paranoia, that comes with psychopathy. Problem is that due to refused treatment, will there be a 5150 law about making that legal to force treatment, like with psychosis? Okay, I think I'm getting the crux of this. We used to call that electroshock treatment, Vixen, and I actually saw a man undergo it one time when I worked in an internship at the VA psych hospital. He was, I believe he was schizophrenic, violent, and it was almost, if you saw one flew over the cuckoo's nest, it was almost like he had a lobotomy. When I went in the day after, we did the ECT, and then we left. And we didn't do it, the doctor did. We observed. And then the next day we went in to do rounds, and he was just like a vegetable. He was as quiet as a mouse, didn't say anything, almost like he was lobotomized. So, you know, I really don't like that transcranial stimulation of any kind. I don't like putting stimulation into the brain of any kind. And you know, it's such a broad question, Vixen, and here's why. There are people that we can't do anything with. And I understand that. There are truly people that cannot be healed. I don't think that temporarily stimulating parts of their brain is going to solve it, because we never got to the root of the problem. And I believe that we have to get to the root of all disease. We're finding out now, like we said earlier, what was it, 80% was it? Was that the figure that JFK gave, or RFK gave us? 80% of our healthcare costs are for preventable chronic disease. So I say we need to get to what's causing the mental illness. We know, and a lot of it today is brainwashing. We know that. It's obvious brainwashing. Trauma, there's so many causes. So whether somebody is redeemable, I think, should be the thing. I can't imagine in the future that it would be legal to do direct current stimulation to people's brains. I can't believe that. There'll be med beds and all this. So in the future, I don't think there will be anything like that. No. Let's go up. I have a question. Okay, so that was, but it's good to see you, beautiful. Tahoe, refresh, come back if it happens. It's all the outburst, fighting each other. It's constant. Yeah, emotionally can drain me. I need to the space to breathe. Is anyone else dealing with a situation where you are so close to, and you know what? Well, where you are so close to family, you love them so much and you want to help them, but it's beginning to destroy you. I have been there and I had to detach. My mom, I couldn't detach. I had her pulled away from me by others. But it's a tough situation. What I know is even if you take a vacation, I don't know the specifics of it, guys. If they will die without you, that's one thing that you have, there's so many variables. All I can say is connect to the external, it's actually internal, but connect to the unseen realm that is what you are, and ask for those answers and ask for a way. You need those things. And Patricia, in your particular situation, being so close, I don't know if there's a little park that you can get to, because I would think that maybe you're walking better now. But even if you're not, I would hope you have a private room you can go into. Just go into, and something that heals your spirit. Pico, is there a pussycat outside? We have these wild cats, the Florida Panthers, that walk through our backyard. Pico! No. Pico! Don't do it. No. Don't do it, Pico. No. He's always got to get the last bark in. There's so many variables, but I can 100% tell you that you cannot sacrifice yourself for others. Okay, I can absolutely tell you that. All right, so okay, so are we ready to go back to that chart for a minute? He's watching. No, actually, oh wait, you might be right. He is watching the front door. Okay. Everything is reversed here, and to me, he looks like he's watching the back, but you're right. It's trash day, and that's what's going on. Okay. Yeah, Florida Panthers, lucky us. We went the other day, Helen, I went, Tim saw it, and Wolfie was out in the screened area, and he was right against the screen, nose to nose with 3 teenage baby Panthers. And I just thought, oh my gosh, they could come through that screen in a heartbeat. All 3 of them. They were between babies and teenagers, and they were sitting there. Mama had to be close by because she never leaves them. Yeah, so that's trash is what he's watching. Ether is the 5th element. I hadn't heard it. I've heard of it as the, yeah, it is the 5th element. You're right, absolutely. That's what I've heard it as. The plasma, the ether, yes. Emmanuel, don't do it. Who's Emmanuel? I don't know Emmanuel. Cute dog. Oh. Yeah. He's Pico, the puppy dog. Everybody loves you, Vixen. And my mom wasn't violent, just really wacky. That my mom had, her mother was too, and she had to detach. My mom's mother was absolutely wacky, mean, just downright mean-spirited, and she had to pull away or it was going to destroy her self-image. Okay, I will put a link. The date was 2022 this chart was done. I'm going to give you a link to that and a bunch. Let me introduce the other ones to you slowly. My mom underwent electroshock more than once. You're exactly right. It doesn't get to the root of the problem. I think it just pushes it deeper beyond memory. So sorry, Helen, that was taken away from you, that your mom, a relationship with her. Hope she's putting a link. So yeah, I'm going to put a link. Don't worry. You got to give me a few minutes, but I'll put that real big here so I don't forget. Link. I'll put that first, even if I don't have all the other ones to go in yet. I downloaded it. I'll have to find it. Oh, hi, Hope. Hope granted Anchor Vision Par 8040. Nice to meet you, Hope. We got a new attendee here, a new participant, I like to call it, sharing her energy with us. I can put the website. You can actually buy these charts. It's okay to share them. You can't use them commercially or reproduce them in any way, but there's a site. You want to see, I'll just run a real quick by you here because we're doing well on time today, aren't we? I'm going to run another one by you just to show you a couple ideas of the different charts that are on there. That one's wild. Hold on. Okay. For instance, here's one on everybody that's funded by Soros. I'm assuming you can see this, right? Yeah. People that are funded by Soros. We've got that. Black Lives Matter. We know about that. But Christopher Steele was funded by. So that's where the money came from for the, see what that says bigger. Russian collusion. So Soros funded it all, guys. Funded it all. The Open Society is his charity. We know that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to check out all of these people. Remember him? Beto O'Rourke? Funded by Soros. AOC, funded by Soros. I'll have to check the legend. I haven't had time. But on the side, and it's very small, I haven't figured out how to do it yet. But these are U.S. politicians all the way along the side that Soros donates to in Congress. Look at that. Look at that, every one of them. Okay, so let me show you another one. Hold on. There's lots of really cool charts here. I didn't quite get that one yet. That one, not yet. If you want to know about Pizzagate, here's everybody's involvement in Pizzagate. Abramovic, remember her? Podesta, remember all that? All connected to who they're connected with. Evie's Crib, remember that one? Sick people. Vince Foster, remember him? The Clinton aide, killed himself under mysterious circumstances. Remember Starr? All kinds of them. That's another one. All of these can be had under this site. I'll give you the site in case you want to like jump ahead before we get to them. There you go. Satanic organized pedophilia. Whoop, sorry. That was my bad. Look who's right at the top of it, guys. CIA. Blackmail method. Hollywood celebrities. The bloodline families. MK Ultra, the Monarch programming, all of it. Generational sexual abuse. Satanic ritual abuse. The adrenochrome and walnut sauce. Cannibalism. This is a bad one. The human hunting parties I just mentioned. Red Drum. And that's a snuff film of babies. Some of these things you'll want, some of them you won't. This one I didn't even look like that, so I'm not. Oh, here's the plan. Check this one out. Here's the plan. We got the golden escalator at the top. We have term one and all of the things. Here's the escalator. When he went down the escalator, Q. Generation Q evolved. The plan began to evolve. Delta Force. All of this stuff. Then there was term one. What we did during term one, the quantum initiative. Can't get, oh yeah, I can get these bigger. Sorry. I'm so sorry for that. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. We've heard that used many, many times. January 6th occurred in the pause, during the pause. COVID-19, pause. Okay. Then the storm began. 107. I have to check with this question mark. We were asking that very question mark what that meant before. So he's questionable. It looks like he is questionable. Mass deportations, public executions, foreign gangs, declassification. This is where we are now, declassification. DS obliteration, deep state. So guys, we're in term two. We're so close. Freedom cities. Energy discoveries are all in term two. Election integrity is right here. I can see that. This one is hard. I may try and enhance this a little bit for you before I before I do this one, I'll have to make sure I can upload it. Then look who's right here in term 2. Elon Musk comes out. The rainbow currency. Remember the rainbow currency? Doge was all part of the second one. AI now remember, guys, what I want you to remember is when you look at this, all of this was done in 2022. Okay? Before all of the stuff that we're seeing here. Okay, before all of this, before this guy came in with Doge. Doge was planned, okay? Department of Government Efficiency, AI discoveries, the singularity. I don't quite know what that means yet. And look what's right down here. The new golden age, Jacera. Now that seems, if we're going, that almost seems like it's the end of term 2, but it kind of implies, that we are significantly transitioned by the end of 2, doesn't it? By the end of the second term. So that's another one. This place has got just great stuff. I hope you're enjoying these. I'm not looking at it. I'm trying to pick ones that I think you would really like. All right, here's one. And this one is entitled How the World Works. How the World Really Works. I don't know, you guys may remember this little girl here. She was a victim of satanic ritual abuse for most of her life. She speaks almost in a flattened demeanor. She has no emotion left in her. She's so numb from everything she's been through. There we go. Look who's right at the top, guys. Look who's right at the top. Includes the British royal families. Goals are to sexually corrupt everyone, be able to murder anyone they please for fun, and deny anyone alive inner peace. Basically, hell on earth, and they worship Satan. Five Eyes. These are the intelligence communities. Look at who's right here. American. Now that's the families. Okay, these are the families here. The Skull and Bones, the Bush, Bohemian Grove, CIA. All of these people that we'll have to go through. Remember poor Cappy? Let's see what it says. Was trying to expose the Hollywood pedophiles. He was suicided. It looks like local law enforcement helped cover it up. Then you've got this perv here, this weirdo. I don't know who Chester is. Oh, he's the son of John Podesta. Was trying to expose Washington, D.C. pedophilia. He was also suicided. Okay, so there's like a bunch here, guys, a bunch. And it tells you here, look up the electronic persecution of Jesus Mendoza. Jesus, I guess it's pronounced. And then there's Snowden. Vault 7, WikiLeaks Vault 7. The government can easily hack your phone and computer using backdoors and zero-day exploits. It is believed they view your internet history, online accounts, and hot mic your phone. Yep. Did you know that? To gain harassment and blackmail material against them. So can you see why I'm like not real concerned about these cameras, guys? They're listening to every word I say right now, you know? So for many, many years, decades, since they came out, since laptops came out, my first laptop, I remember covering up that camera, okay? I covered it up. And the only reason it's not, and Tim still has his covered up. The only reason it's not is because I was having problems doing these live streams with my video camera, and this became much more stable. Remember when they were crashing and stuff? All right, so we go over here. We got the Five Eyes. Here's the American pedophiles, which everybody knows. You know, everybody knows them. The Clintons, DNC. Here is his, remember that little girl? What was her name that disappeared in Italy? Her parents were out of the room, and these were the sketches him and his brother, I believe it was, McCann, Madeleine McCann's abductors. Sketch of one of Madeleine McCann's abductors. Picture of Podesta. And when you see the other one, I don't think it has his brother's picture on here, but his brother was the same exact thing. There was also the police sketch artist, and it looked just like his brother, Podesta's brother. Comet ping pong. So this gets in all of the embassy attacks, foreign intelligence, NSA. I mean, these charts are just really, really amazing content. FBI Anon. Let's just see this. Many of the FBI are sickened that they have to keep above secret from the masses. They have to keep the above secret, everything you're seeing there from the masses. They have given information about pedophilia symbols and the CIA finders cult. They are worried if they give all the information out that there would be riots in the street and complete anarchy. Again, are they trying to do the right thing, or is it another group seeing a huge power vacuum coming up once this is all exposed? The questions they ask, I don't even understand them half the time. Got to sit and think about them. Per FBI, about 500,000 open missing children cases in the USA in 2022. There appears to be a connection between underground military bases, missing people, and national parks. Remember, guys, just because they are underground military bases doesn't mean that they were always used for right. The military was compromised for a very, very long time. So I think that probably we'll pick a different one of these. I'll do a little heads up on it. Nothing is beyond our reach. NRO. Joint operation between the CIA and the Air Force. They control all the U.S. reconnaissance satellites in the sky. This was 2022. And that's why Musk has so many satellites. They make them and operate them, probably behind the targeted individual program that uses satellites to track people. So they're tracking us from satellites, guys. You see why I'm not that concerned about these cameras? And I believe that they are some kind of distraction. I just don't know. I don't know whether it's just to make us fear. I've been thinking, I've been looking. I'm going to take that off there for a second because I want to talk to you. I've been thinking real hard because it's been bothering me about these cameras, and I haven't looked at them from the narratives. I look at them from the big picture, and I'm wondering, this, in my opinion, was clearly a psyop that came out of some kind, not a psyop, a disinformation. It's not even a disinformation. They're real. They're probably very, very offensive and horrible. That's not the word. It's a distraction. It's a, what would you call, guys? I don't know. Tell me, guys, help me out. What is a distraction that's taking our mind off something else? And I have been searching my soul, trying to find out what we're trying to be distracted from. Throw it out there if you have any ideas, because that's what I need. I need help. I need more eyes. I need, a disclosure team kind of, and that's kind of what this is turning into, isn't it? I didn't look at the old one. You guys wanted to see Ike, whatever the heck his name is, and he is definitely on there. So let me open that back up again and find that to get that off my plate. All right, I want to say, guys, I'm going to scan across this. Now, remember, good side, center. There he is right there. And there he is. And he's large. So he's Maxwell. He's got a connection to Maxwell, J. Maxwell. Which one is that? That's not Ghislaine, and that's not her father, because he's Robert. The Green Party, M16. Again, this question mark, his connection to M16. So I would say anti-Q truthers. He is an anti-Q truther, guys. That's his job, okay? He's to convince you that Q is not real. And I have to get a better analysis of this. I have to go through each, and I did this once. I was going to do a video about this thing once I got all of these done. But I've gone in and I've looked at the different and analyzed small parts of it. So that's what we know about Ike, whatever you want to call him. He's definitely not on the good side from what I can see here. Okay. I mean, I can't believe that somehow Dan saved me. Dan Willis saved me from falling into all of those. Even MUFON has burnt bridges at this point. So many people, I keep saying to you guys, and it's mostly been because it's inspirational, but I keep telling you over and over and over again what I know in my heart to be true, and that is that there are so many people in this fight that have burnt bridges. They've flipped. They've become possessed. Okay? If the deep state did everything that we know they did, what makes you think for 1 second, that if they control as much of our government as they do, what makes us think that they're not also controlling the alternative narrative? They controlled almost, in fact, perhaps every bit of the mainstream narrative at one point. They had complete control. Every PBS controlled. Every one of them, all controlled. And we're paying to be brainwashed, is what we did. So what makes us think for 1 second that when people distrusted the mainstream media, that people wouldn't move over, that they wouldn't then go, and when they knew people were distrusting it and we're all looking for alternative media, that's a fact, right? What made us ever think they wouldn't begin controlling them as well? And keep in mind, you don't only have to control somebody with money, blackmail, they can be pristine and be energetically controlled if they aren't at the level of their energetic development. And there's a lot of people in the UFO community that never developed that connection. That's why I'm so thankful that Dan connected me, set me up to the right resources, and made me understand what the real issue is here. And that is vibrational elevation that's moving to another density for the entire world. Let's see. I think I saw those, putting a link so we can get the chart. Yeah. That chart will be in there, guys. I'll figure out exactly how to do it. And I'll also put a list if you want to get a heads up. And then if you guys decide you want any of those other charts, you can right click them. I think you can right click them on the page and save it for your own benefit. You just can't sell it and you can't make money on it. But, or you can buy, I guess it's a wall chart. And I just might do that depending on the prices, buy a couple of these wall charts to put in my office. But to better understand this, because everything comes for a reason. Maybe those charts came to me because I need to begin to start putting these pieces together in a more cogent way. So, yeah, if you guys get one or copy some of the others, I will put the site to all of these. And if you want to save it, start studying them, you can do that. So you'll have more than just the link to this particular chart. How's Pico doing? He's sitting there I don't know where Wolfie is. Wolfie. You can't see Wolfie. Wolfie's sitting. Wolf. Let me see if I can turn it. See Wolfie? There's Wolfie. Say hi, Wolfie. He's always got to be here for the stuff, for the really big shoe, he says. Okay, let me turn it. I'll let you look at Wolfie a little bit there, too. Get the view, huh? All right. Tim said something because I see oh, really? Well, I guarantee they can't track me when I'm watching my bubble TV using my VCR. I don't know if he's still on here, but he's right. He loves his bubble TV and his VCR. Let's see. This is too much fun, isn't it? Let's see. Of course, you're welcome, Hope. I hope you become a regular member because we have these on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. and Fridays at 4 p.m. So I hope you'll partake and become a contributing member. I mean, contributing your energy. This info is amazing. Okay. I know. I thought it was too, Helen. I really did. The freedom cities are those. Now, Helen, if I didn't pick up your email yet, and there's something imminent that you have to know, just write it here on here, and I'll hurry up and try and get to that. So, like, if you're coming down tomorrow, let me know, and I'll see that. I just I'm way behind on emails. The freedom cities are the 10 new cities they're supposed to be building. Oh, really? Where are those? Hester Benningfield was a singer. I didn't see that on there. Okay. Now, don't forget, remember we did the one about selling your soul. I'm going to move my chair over a little bit so I'm not on an angle and you can still see the pets. They're great energy. So Hester Benningfield, don't forget how they sold their souls, and they could have been an important node for bringing other people in or something. These people are sick. Okay. Okay. We did vixens. Yep. That's my feeling. They've been so watching and listening to us in everything, guys. You know, we bought one of those bidet toilet seats. I'm afraid to buy anything new and any new technology because they're watching us on everything. They watching me in the bathroom? I don't know. That's why I guess I haven't been. I want to know what we're being distracted from. That's what I want to know. In Portugal, that happened with the doc. Oh, it was Portugal. You're right, with that little McCann girl. You're right, Patricia. Yep. They left the kids in a hotel. But they were right downstairs, too. And you have to wonder, those people, I think, knew, if Podesta, and I'm just saying if Podesta was involved in any way with the kidnapping of that child, those parents had to be involved, is what I think. And I think it was a sacrifice, if that's the case. Somebody was. If it wasn't the parents, it was their friends that said, no, leave them here. Somebody set that arrangement up for those children to be left alone in that room for those people to come and get it, if it was the Podestas. Talked to a Fed about it, who asked if I had considered him to be an agent sent out to attack me. This is somebody? Vixen, I don't have the full picture, Vixen. So you're talking about you've got a sociopath? I know you had problems in your neighborhood, but you're saying you have a sociopath? And a Fed asked if I had considered him to be an agent sent out to me. I said, no, he's most likely just an online psycho. So this is that same guy stalking you? Oh, okay. I don't think he's deep state, Vixen. I think I'm not feeling that he is a deep state plant. I don't know enough about your background. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm just not feeling like he's organized. I feel, honey, that you need to protect yourself, that this person is possibly an immigrant, and possibly just a really sick person. I'll tell you what I would do. Now, you tell me, guys. I don't know. What would you do if you're in a neighborhood and some guy is stalking you and you've called the police? I would local police and even a Fed. Okay. And you fear for your own safety. Do you, me? I'd be on the phone all the time to the police. Every day I saw this guy. He's out there again. And I would definitely keep a diary of what the guy is doing, because when you go to the police or anybody and you complain of something like this happening, you need to show a history that I'm not paranoid. I didn't just look out my window. Here's my journal. This is all the dates. This date at this time, this date at this time. You guys agree? That's what, as an investigator, if I were in that position of being stalked, that's exactly what I would do. Now, it happened with my parents, and I told you there was a person that was threatening me. It was they were verbally giving me calls, threatening my life and the life of others. And we moved my parents out of the house when we noticed that they were surveilling my parents. It was actually my house. I was living up in the Panhandle. My parents were living in my house in Tarpon Springs, and they noticed this car was out there watching them on a regular basis, and that's when I moved them out of the house. So I think he was looking for me actually, but and maybe it was intimidation. I don't know, but you just never know what you're dealing with there, Vixen. I would call the police if you, and I would definitely document times, how long he went, and documenting it, my new job. And then I'd go to the police and I would go to them over and over and over again and say, okay, here, this is what he was here for 2 hours watching me. He was doing this. He was whatever he's doing. Okay. You never know if it wouldn't probably, I know that your means are limited at this point, but you might want to, look online if you have like a Facebook marketplace over there or someplace where you can get pawn shops or something and see if you can get some kind of cheap camera on him where he's at. If that's a possibility, if he's watching at your house, if he's following you, take out your phone. Maybe I don't know, because I don't want to give you advice there that would tick him off and escalate anything either. Work with the authorities, sweetheart, and log everything down. The cosmic part, Patricia says, the cosmic part of the rescue of planet Earth, they want it secret. Exactly. It's my belief that above everything, all of this other stuff, and this has been validated and confirmed by Elon Musk too in some of his talks. Donald's calling a customer again. You guys are amazing. These guys working, coming back on and off. That what they can't have us understand is that we have these powers that can do lots of things, guys. Let me show you something. I saw this the other day and laughed. See this? That's my spoon, okay? I bent that with my mind. I know, it's wild, isn't it? I bent that with my mind. That's my spoon. They can't have you know that. That is the secret, because once they do, once you know that you can manipulate others, that you can manipulate, oh, got to fly there, Pete, that you can manipulate others, that you can manipulate, you can create your own existence. You can manipulate matter. Can you imagine that? When that happens, guys, they lose all power. You gain intuitive. The movie, if you've never seen the movie Lucy, it's done in a little bit of a scary way. I wish it would have been done in a more beautiful way. But they always, I think that movie had to be dark funded, because they tell you everything in the movies. They always tell you. It's part of the satanic code, if you would, that they must have your consent. You must give consent. And that's why we see all this stuff in the movies, because they're telling us in the movies. And when we don't get it, it's, we've given consent, basically, is how I've always understood that is what that's about. Movies, when they brainwash us, a lot of it is disclosure. So anyway, the movie Lucy takes you through the various vibrational densities, and she begins to get power. In her case, she's using a drug, and she was used as a mule to carry this drug, and it explodes inside of her, and she starts rapidly elevating. And I won't tell you the whole story, but it's a very good representation of the powers that the human being actually has, the human entity, and that they can have us know everything else, guys. They can have us know about the pedophilia. They can have us know about all this theft going on in our government, about the immigration implants, all of that. That's superfluous. They're going to try and hold it back as long as they can, because they know that every lie they're caught in is awakening to us. And the more we awaken and the more we spurn them away and we don't listen to them anymore, that's when we begin to evolve vibrationally. And they won't be able to stop it. And you're right. You are absolutely right. The cosmic part of the rescue of planet Earth. And that is the thing they can't let us know, is our own power. I'm not sure what is distracting. Yes, I think you're confirming with Patricia, but I'm not quite sure, Tony, when you say this is distracting from. I haven't heard Mark. I haven't seen any things from Mark lately. Happy. Oh, there's Happy. Hi, Happy, Happy, Happy. Hello, my lovely star seeds. Hi, Happy. I had you up for some reason, your channel up today. And Donald's back. All right. Was the map showing good people, etc., made by Dylan Monroe? He's known as the map maker. I don't know. I don't know. You want me to check now? Here's my notes. I hate when I lose my notes. Oh, they went on the floor when I got my spoon. Remember that, guys. You can do that, guys. You can do it. Put it where you can see it. This side. Okay, you can do that. Your mind has that ability, and that's what they can't ever let you know. Ever, ever, ever. All right, now let's see what Patricia's talking about here. Got to get that link up because I know you guys want that one. All right. Dylan Monroe. Let me. I bookmarked it. Hold on. I bookmarked it, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna go right here. Oh, no, I don't want to take that off. Yeah, I can take that off now. Bookmarks. Where are you, bookmarks? There we go. It's called the Deep State Mapping Project, guys, and I'm going to show it to you. I think this is it. All right. Notice the URL. I'm on the download page. Okay. So they're actually really cheap. And there's, here we go. Downloads are, so you can download every one of these maps yourself. Downloads are for personal use only. Let me put this in the chat for you guys. Let's see if we can answer that question. Dylan Monroe. Store, new home. See, they sell, look at, they sell t-shirts and all that stuff, crystals. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. And that's affiliates. It doesn't say, and I'm sure, newsletter, DSMP. DM. So this is the deep state. Well, here, let's ask. Who drew the maps? Here, let me give you something to look at while I'm doing this. Sorry. Where were they? Downloads. There we go. I'll put those three up. Since you get 3, you can look and see what it says. There's a COVID map. Look at that. Who drew the maps for the Deep State Mapping Project? I mean, can you believe how much is here? Q told us we have everything we need, guys. Dylan Lewis Monroe, there you go, was created by artist and designer Dylan Lewis Monroe. Boy, you're a smart one. He launched the project around late 2016 to 2017. So some of these, that's actually when POTUS came in. Okay, sweetie. Now let me tell Tim. Okay. Drive careful. All right, there we go. All right, so it was, she's a smart cookie, isn't she? Originally designing the famous QWeb map and subsequent revisions like the Grand Awakening map and the 15G flowcharts. So, yeah, Dylan Lewis Monroe. That's who we got here. So that's the address. I put it in there, right there, guys. I don't think you can see it, but it's on the right-hand side, right above Patricia. All right. So we've got everything we need there. We found that answer out. Let's close that out. Let's get to these questions. See, I'm just seeing from you, just looking at you guys and seeing Seeing this awakening is just so rewarding. Okay, Patricia gets the prize. She knew it was Dylan Monroe. Good. He is the map maker, so those are his maps, yes. Now, Patricia, elaborate on that if you would. He's the map maker by Q, or who said that? Where'd you hear that? History of Earth. Den says, history of Earth without the moon. Is the moon the Death Star causing our DNA to be dormant with frequencies? Here's a problem I have with that, Den. The moon was put there by the creator, right? Why would the creator make our DNA dormant with frequencies? I don't know. Where you have to give me more history, and I don't. I just look at puzzle pieces, and do these puzzle pieces fit in or do they not? And I'm always knowing what is of the creator and what isn't, or I'm always looking for what is of the creator and what isn't of the creator. And when I look for these lies and stuff, and the moon is of the creator, to my knowledge, unless there's something else going on with that. Maybe from what I understand. So Happy says, maybe from what I understand, the moon is mechanical and it was put there by a spy device affecting our DNA, supposedly. That so sounds like, no, that's disinformation, I believe. That's think about this, guys. What a fear narrative. The frigging moon is hurting us. I mean, no, people praise the moon. Spiritually evolved people connect with the moon. It's a special day, the lunar eclipse. People go out during the full moon and they celebrate, during the equinox and stuff. I just, fear porn, you got it, Bill. Thank you, Bill and Kath. I agree. That's fear porn. Spirit, I was asking on the chart, it said the new cities. Oh, I didn't see that, Shelley. I was just wondering if those are the cities they're supposed to build. I didn't know they were supposed to build. Let me go back to the chart real quick. Hold on. This is too much fun. Hold on. I don't know which one it was on because I gave you several of them. You have to tell me which chart it was on. Was it on the first red one that we saw? Where was that New Cities one? I know I gave you a few of them. Looks like Dylan Moore work on New Templars on Rumble. Okay. So he's on Rumble. That's good to know. Okay. I agree, Happy. Yes, become stars. Don't change like that all the time because that's one thing that throws up a red flag. Yeah. I mean, I'm just really, it's almost like when something hits me, I don't always get it, but when you put that down, that immediately struck me as, whoa, sirens going off. And see, I would never follow the person that, or listen to another word that person said, because I don't know what frequencies they're embedding on me. I don't know. Vixen, a stress reaction. This is back to Vixen for 10 months from it. I've broken the contact since a year, but so there was originally contact. But he regularly breaks into my home and has cut my brake wires. The police closes all the reports since I do not have his name, and they say it's too resource demanding to track him. Can you get a picture, or do you have a picture of him, Vixen? So it sounds like there was some contact with this man at some point. And it must not have been intimate because you would know his name for sure, right? Get a picture. There's a function that you can go online and you can search photographs. If he's got any kind of social media, it should be able to peg his photograph. That is Google. Let me get it for you. Google photo image. And you want the reverse one, okay? And there's a couple different ones. There's a bunch of them. The one I've used in the past is Google Image, but there might be better ones. Yeah, Yeah, search with an image. Okay, so I'm going to give you, wait, hold on. There's a bunch of them. Scanley. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to give you this. And there's a number of them there. This is what I would probably do. I'd get a photograph of this guy and I'd reverse image it to get his name. He's cut the brakes on your car. I didn't know you had one. Okay. He regularly, okay, so he breaks into your home, but is that when you're not there, or he doesn't ever, has he ever been violent, Vixen? I understand if you don't even have a name, you kind of sound like a lunatic to them, I guess. And they don't want to put the resources. We can find him. This is what I used to do. So let's get a photograph of this guy if we can. Maybe on Friday you can post his photograph on here, and I'll see what I can find about this guy. Anything, that way I'll know more. I'll know so he doesn't live near you, huh? I thought he lived near you and you knew who this guy was. Okay, let's get a photograph. That's step one. Dylan Monroe's work on maps charts are absolutely brilliant and beautiful. Yeah, they really are. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy some. They're only like $10. I have to see how big they are. But if those are nice wall hangings, that would so be perfect, wouldn't it? I'm going to get one or two. The guy put you in contact with the Fed, who actually was really nice to talk to. And he asked me if I thought he could be an agent targeting me, but I said no, since he targeted more than just me. Oh, so he's targeting other people too. So this is just a sicko going around your neighborhood, ogling at everybody, breaking into people's houses. If you know how he gets into your home, have you ever thought hot wiring wherever he gets in at? I got no problem with that. I'd fry him to pieces. I wouldn't care. He has no right to enter your home. And I assume you're not allowed to have weapons. That's why this is such a problem, right? Yeah. Vixen is in Sweden, guys. So I doubt that she has access to any weapons. But I'll tell you what, if you can have knives, I would definitely have a nice sharp knife around one day. I thought about this. Isn't that funny how this comes up? I thought about this the other day because this right here that I keep right here, right? This is actually a weapon. It's a flute, but it's a weapon. This is a heavy, heavy metal bar. And when I used to do martial arts, we used to do forms with this. And it's called the flute form. But, baseball bats, knives, whatever you can, Vixen. It sounds like he's not armed, but the police didn't investigate it even once. I'm hoping for him to calm down, and yes, he must have been watching my home since. Every break-in happened while you were at the gym. He told me during our contact that he can pick any lock except electric locks, but my landlord, you're renting, refuses to change the lock, even if I pay for it. So your landlord also somewhat has seen some of this, I would assume. Okay. If he picks your lock, I don't know, guys. I don't know all of it, but I'll tell you what, if he was picking my lock, there'd be a camera on that door. Absolutely. They make them so tiny that you can't even see them anymore. Maybe just even put a sign up if you can't afford a camera, but they're pretty cheap, but put a sign up saying that the premises are surveilled and tell them I have a camera now. And they even make fake cameras that look like real cameras. But this lunatic, I would say just catch him is what you want to do. You don't want to play with his mind. He told me, okay, so I got that. I don't know what Wells is about, Shelley, but it's a good thing here, and told me you couldn't possibly have done this yourself. It's him. Oh, the landlord has seen what he's done and said you couldn't have possibly done it yourself. He fried the entire box to my door lights. Oh, so to get rid of the light, is that it? I would put a surveillance camera, very small surveillance camera, and I would go to the gym, or even if you don't go to the gym, can you step? Well, first of all, what you should be doing, I don't know if it's possible, but change your time that you go to the gym. Can you do that? Change your time and see if he's there. This is something that the police must be involved, and the only way I know to do this, like, if this were me and I could find out who this guy was, I would be gathering as much evidence on him as I possibly could. I mean, I'm not above a good trash haul, you know? I'll go get their trash and find every piece of evidence in there. So you have to definitely, Patricia, yeah, you got to get rid of him. You're absolutely right. So we got cameras. We got surveilling him right on back with a camera. Act like you're going to the gym, change your time and go to the gym at a different time, and then pretend like you're going to the gym and find a good location to photograph or video. Better yet, if you can video him on your phone, video him and take it to the police and say, now this is breaking and entering. That should do it. That should at least get him arrested. I haven't heard any violence from him so far. I hope I'm right there. It wasn't intuitively. Wait, where was that at? Let's go down here because we got some stuff for. All right. Happy says, wow, you intuitively bent that's. I didn't intuitively. I actually energetically projected energy the way you do it when it's straight. And I don't know if I could ever do it again. I was in a deep setting of meditation and stuff, and there were lots of people, and there was pressure that I didn't want to be the only one that didn't do it, you know. But basically what you do is you take it and you hold it there, and it's a hard spoon, and you hold it straight like this, and you energetically project into it, and it begins to get hot. You put your finger on it and you can feel it actually gets hot. And then you make it hotter and hotter and hotter with your brain. So that's how it was done there. I wouldn't call it intuitively, is more just something that comes to me. This was a deliberate effort to do this, and it worked. It was a manifestation, we might say. Vixen, who it be feasible, appropriate, and or safe to confront him? Oh, is it? Would it be feasible, appropriate? Yeah, to confront him and ask him what he wants, maybe with a big guy next to you. There you go. That's an excellent idea. Thank you, Helen. That's an excellent idea. Dylan loves crystals. Yeah, he's selling them. I'm going to follow him too. I wonder if he's on X, because I don't get to. Like I said, I don't do videos very much, long videos. Oh, he refuses to meet her in person. I've tried for years, and he is a big guy, hypermuscular, trained military and private military contractor. Others have tried to do the same and failed as well. He beat 2 of them down. Oh, okay, he's violent. Busted the lip open. So you've got a whole group of people. Why aren't you all surveilling this guy and marking down and all filing one complaint? It seems to me that if you get him on video breaking into your house, I mean, I don't know your country, but in the United States, that's breaking and entering, especially if you've created a record of stalking from this guy. Create the record. You know, they may think you're a real pain in the butt, but every time you go into that police station, you're creating a record and you're marking it down. I want a report of this. I want a report of this. And you insist on a report. It doesn't matter what they think, guys. It doesn't matter if they hate your guts, Vixen. If they're every time you walk in, they scatter because nobody wants to talk to you. That's how you get things done. That's how you get things done. I did see the pictures of the busted lip guy, and he bled pretty badly. So are you seeing this on a community board online or something? Styx sang it long ago. It's a grand illusion. Styx, one of my favorite bands in the world. Yes, I love them. I got to see them up in, when I lived up in the Panhandle of Florida, I got to see them. They were great. Well, Vixen, I'm praying for you. I'm not sure what else to suggest right now. That's all we can do is send protection to Vixen. That's a great idea. Okay. I'm going to send some protection in the end, okay? Right before our last video there. Yes, pray. Yes, the Fed traced him and found 3 pictures of him that fit with his body and the scar he told me about. He never gave me his name and no one. Okay, well, if the Fed found this guy and they told you that they have found this man, you can, here's a couple things, and I can only speak for the United States. If there's an open investigation, they can't give you any information about it. That's why these stupid politicians, liberals, are release the files, release the files, release the files. If there's an open investigation, they can't release anything that's evidentiary in the case. So you may want to contact that Fed again and just say, he's broken into, does the Fed know he's broken into your house? He's broken into my house, blah, blah, blah. What he's, you know, he's hurt this guy and everything. You know who he is. Can I put in a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information request to get this guy's name? You know, I'm afraid for my life and I've reported this to everybody and I need help. Just be the stinking coat, Vixen, be the stinking coat till they'll do anything to get rid of you. Okay, Dan's talking about the moon. Moonfall is about a mechanical moon with alien AI crashing into Earth. So why is this not the cabal showing us truth along with the Death Stars from Star Wars? Don't quite get that. Don't quite get that part of it. So you're saying that the moon is mechanical, perhaps? And that AI is going to crash it into Earth? It's a fear narrative. It's a fear narrative, Den. That's the number one reason. So you say, so why is this not the cabal? Okay, showing us the truth. Why? Because the cabal and the people that have the power to do that have been neutralized. We know that they've been neutralized since what, 2021. Okay, who's going to do it? Is Nancy Pelosi going to fly up there in a helicopter and, you know, make a mechanical moon? No. If there was one, the Alliance, the Galactic Federation, not the Alliance, the Galactic Federation already neutralized that, if that is a possibility. It just sounds like classic disinformation created for fear. That's what it sounds like. I'd love to know who's saying that so I can dig on them a little deeper. Look in that chart for them, Dan, when you get it. Whoever is propagating that, look in that chart. And the problem with that chart I wish he would update it. I'm going to make a thing about that because now there's been so many replacements that, yes, we know historically who these truthers are and if they're still around, whether they're good, whether they're bad, blah, 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 blah. But there's so many coming into the arena and they're just multiplying like rabbits on the internet. So I would love to see an updated thing of that. So you updated them with the pictures. So you've got the pictures. Can you post them so we can see them somewhere, anywhere? Let's see. You'll never find it here, I'm sure. Post them and let us look it up. They say they need a name. They refuse to put it. Yeah, I get that. Let's see what we can find, huh? There's that Google image right here. I don't know if you're looking at it, but right under there, it's a big yellow square. I put the Google image search. If you don't feel comfortable posting it on the board for us to search it, go into there and see if you can upload his picture there. One of the brake wires on my bike. Oh, on your bike. Oh, okay, I see. Thank heaven, you really scared me there on your bike. Okay. And that's where she gets that body at. And he fried the electrical box with door light. Unbelievable. Interrupting. Sorry, Donald. The pictures can be posted in the chat. You see that plus button? Engage with your audience. Maybe not. All right. Try that link. I thought you could. Try and copy paste on that if you can. Try and copy it and paste. Can anybody paste a picture? I know we see the icons all over the place. What is that plus sign? It says engage with your audience. Oh, no, that's for me. Close, start a poll, start a Q&A, blah, 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 blah. We'll have to try that one time, won't we? Try that and see if we can get that picture identified. I gave you the link. It's that yellow box there. Yeah, we saw that. Okay. Yeah, try that yellow square there. One of the brake wires on my bike. Okay, Friday. More information interruption in the chat. Yes, if you can do, you might have to do a copy paste into the chat. He stalked another woman from Discord where I met him and a couple of men as well. It's a control thing due to his psychopathy. He picks the locks. I just can't believe that this guy is doing this all over town and nobody has been able to finger him. I mean, I just don't get it. About weapons, my 2 self-defense sprays went missing after the first break-in. And yes, I have my eyes on several helpful things for the door, but since he goes in when I'm gone, I can't attack. Don't attack. You don't want to attack unless you're trained at it. You don't want to attack. What you want to do is you want to catch him and turn it over to the authorities, Vixen. I would not. I have weapons. I'm trained in martial arts, and I simply would not attack him. And I'm in Florida, where if he broke into my house legally, I could. Now, if he broke into my house and was going wild, yeah, I would shoot it. But I wouldn't set him up to come in here. I would, if I could find him breaking in and see that and set him up like that, then I would give that to the police and say, now you go or I'm going to the newspapers. Now, I got a video of this guy breaking into my house. Do something. He moved some things in the kitchen as if he wanted me to see he had been in. I'm sure he did. I don't understand how this guy can be doing all this to all these people and nothing happens. Exactly, Shelley. Holy shit, girl, you better keep all of your weapons inside of your purse whenever you go to the gym. Absolutely, absolutely. And you need to get some more of that spray. You know, it's better to go. She went to jail for the spray one time, and or she got in trouble for spraying this guy or somebody else. And but you know what? It's better. It's better to protect yourself no matter what happens, you know. Yeah, it sounds like a big stalking. Ring camera. There you go. Ring camera. Put a camera up in the house. Camera. It's official. Everybody thinks a camera is a good idea. And let it catch him, and then catch him in your home. So you could put one of him breaking in, and then you can put one inside the home. But set them up, because it sounds like he's looking for stuff, and he is probably aware of cameras if he's done it many times before. I bought a Ring camera, but the landlord told me that's illegal, and I had to take it down. What? Plus, he can take that out with the same weapon he used for my door light anyway, so cameras are pointless. Unfortunately, the Fed said he used an EMP. Get out, really? Well, that's possible. Anything is possible. I have provided the police with all the pictures and over 100 print screens. They refuse to act since they need a name. Well, I say that we have to get those pictures done. Have you tried that? Let me know if you tried that and that doesn't work. And then if not, I'm going to have you send it to this alternate email that I have. Not if it's in your home. Your landlord cannot keep you from keeping yourself safe. That's what I say too, Shelley. I don't know what this landlord's problem is. Sure, he's not connected to him. You said the neighborhood was a rough neighborhood. Are any of these other people connected? I don't know. But you have to keep yourself safe. Screw the landlord. I'm with you there. Put the camera inside your house. Tie it in with your phone with an alert, and that happens, and call the police and send them over there saying, go pick up this psycho ass. That is brilliant, Happy. That's brilliant. I don't know, Happy, is it possible for you to find a link on Amazon of what she needs there? Because I don't know. I'm not mechanical at all. And maybe if you put a link for it, she can see if she can afford to get one or something. So you put it inside the house, you hide it. It's got to be very, he can't know it's there. Don't tell him it's there. And now they can do so many things. So it will connect to your camera as soon as he goes on. I've heard of that. My sister up north has one of those. When her backyard camera goes off, she gets an alert. And then just call them while you're still at the gym or whatever, saying, go get him now. Thought about pretending to go to the gym and then go right back and catch him. Do not approach him. Do not, Vixen. Don't approach him, sweetie. Call the police. You can carry your key fob, set it off. There you go. Get 20 feet insect spray. Keep in your pocketbook. You know, that's a good idea. Why don't you? Oh, she doesn't have a car, so she may not have a key fob. Better than mace. She's talking about a 20-foot insect spray. Oh, like bee killer or something. Oh, that's a good thought. Bee killer. Right in the eyes. Oh. Do you energetically put your signal in where exactly that you want the spoon to bend? Yes. Yes, you do. And so wherever you want it there, right? I did mine right there. And that's where it went. And it never turned red, but it got pliable and soft. And then if it doesn't do, you have to go a little bit like this, but there's, you know, just kind of guide it, but they're impossible. They were so hard. Like right now, I can't bend this if I try with my hands. So what you do is you heat it up and you can guide it downwards, but you're not supposed to. If you have to give it a little push, that's okay. The key is just to get the energy there to where it's heated soft enough to where it bends. I don't know. I think this is a pure silver one too, just by the tarnish on that. See that? Okay. Happy. He takes out the cameras with an EMP. Now he told his Fed friend that he has a Fed friend. I have tried to break her for 5 years and could not do it. She's resilient. Tell her I wish her well, yet the break-ins continue. Gosh, it's so hard being across the world. It's so hard. And I know you're alone. I don't know, guys. Ideas. Can't get him on the video since he takes out the cameras with an EMP, and my landlord since my camera, since it's illegal to film it. She fried your camera since it's illegal to film on the street for a common citizen. Gosh. I had no idea that your area was that big. He found her online since he saw a friend discussing an abusive relationship I was in. That's why you never put anything on the internet, guys. Just, your friend was discussing your personal relationship on the internet. I was in and thought I was weak and would be a perfect victim. Yep. Have you ever thought about taking martial arts lessons and he'll see you doing that or whatever? Filming out on the sidewalk is illegal. See, she knows her area better than we do, guys. But filming in the home is legal. I mean, he's got to be, in order to hit it with an EMP, even EMF, he has to know it's there. So there's ways to hide these things. There's ways, I know there are. He always goes in through the front door, though, not the porch. So I'm going to buy a pole and put towards the door. I don't know what that's going to do. Pico, enough. Daddy's coming home. Yes. Pig, come on, Pico. Pico, come on. Pico. Pico. It's Daddy. Come on in. Let Tim come in to shut him up. Gosh. Little yappers are what they are. Little yappers. Hi, baby.
Hi, babe. Are you still on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ring camera can link to your phone. Mine goes off when I'm in Florida. Really? Very cool. I'm a little lost here, guys. You have Google reversed it, had nothing. Okay, so you want to send it to this. I have to get to it because I think that I have another one. Info at email it to that address, Vixen. Email me all three of them, please. Let me see if I can find anything on this guy. All right. Something about electricity. I wonder if there's such a thing as EMP-proof cameras. I doubt it. Since all cameras run on electricity, no. Not that I know anything, but if I find one, let me know. I hear you. You're in the same place as I am technology-wise. I will talk to you all Friday. Shelly's got to go get some groceries. Love you all so much. All right, I want to play this last thing. We didn't get much over the other. While my Ring camera was up, I never had any notifications. Strange. Really. But when I came home, the lock plate was loose and crooked and things gone in my apartment. I just can't believe that you can't do something about this. I'll ask around about a camera. I'll message you on your YouTube channel. You can message on YouTube? I didn't know that. Bye, Shell. Bye, Shell. Actually, the people I talked to were great and helped me out of that relationship. They threw him out of the chat as well, but he comes in on several accounts. So when he's thrown out, man, you have to develop the vibrational part of it, sweetie. You got to. It's tough. We've all been there. We've all been there when we've made wrong choices. Now they're on several accounts there. We've given up. He says he likes when they're afraid of him, makes him feel powerful. That's scary. That's downright scary. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Okay. I want to give you one other thing here. I want to share one other thing with you. Because I wrote this down. First of all, guys, before I do this, we're going to bring this to an end. But before I do this, I hope I have it. I want to first send some love out to Vixen. Protection. This person will just all of a sudden lose interest in her. She has a shield around her, and it's becoming stronger and stronger, and there's nothing he can do to penetrate that shield. And I also want to send healing, loving energy again to our beautiful Tahoe. And I want to give you all something that should hopefully make you feel better, understand the connection that we have, the perfection that we are, and that we can get back to. All right, and then I'm going to read you what I wrote for this. So hang on one sec. I'm going to switch it now, swap it out. All right, and I'm going to, hold on, let me find what to put here. Okay. All right, so what I want to say to you guys is this is how we arrive on this planet. Helpless and dependent. We are void of any hate or anger, and our entire perception of life relies on those first 5 years. We trust because we are innocent. They smile because they are a spark of the Creator that is pure love. These perfect little beings arrive unscarred by the world, eyes wide with pure wonder, bodies soft and pristine, minds like unwritten pages. They trust completely, needing every breath, every touch, every word to be given with care. The fragility is absolute. They cannot protect themselves, feed themselves, or shape their own understanding. That sacred task falls to us, guys. It's up to us to mold these tender minds with gentleness, truth, and love. Never carelessly, never with the weight of our own unresolved wounds. Look closely at this beauty. Let it humble you. Learn from it. Become worthy stewards of the gift that we have been given. For in protecting and guiding these innocents, we honor the purest reflection of life itself. We honor the Creator. As we move into the coming storm, we must remember that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how hard it is to understand, this disruption in our world is now and has always been about the children. To honor the innocence, to safeguard the vulnerability, and to treasure the consciousness that has been suppressed and contaminated because we have been asleep. The end is near, guys, and those responsible for the atrocities that have occurred are close to reckoning. Trust the plan, not for financial or physical renewal, but for the children who have suffered more than most can even imagine. Trust the plan for the innocent, for retribution, and for the future of mankind. So I just wanted you guys to see that. That is what perfection looks like. And there has to be some kind of evil in this world to ever be able to hurt that. So I just wanted to say that to you guys. I wanted to share that with you. I want you guys to be love. Remember, be love, okay? Everybody sending Vixen love. Tahoe, best wishes. Stay strong and safe. You are so loved. And she's emailed some pictures. I'll take a look at them, and you have more, okay? Isn't that baby precious? He's all, yes, woman, keep pouring. I know he's loving it, isn't he? But he's safe. He felt safe. All right, guys, so I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to spend a little time with my amazing husband, who's out in the pool right now. And I don't know what's coming up next, but stay tuned. Something's coming up. I'm working real hard to get something on both channels. And if you haven't been to the other channel yet, the Clean Living Lab, get there. It's very small still, just started, and I haven't really been focusing that much on it. So Bill and Kathy, thank you. Of course, Vixen, of course. They have been wonderful, and that's what this community is about. That's what it's all about. Just be love. Even you, Vixen, try not to feel the fear. Don't let him touch you. Be love, okay? Thank you, Bill and Kathy. I love you guys, and I will talk to you on Friday, okay? Bye-bye.